Good, Ms. Wren?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, thank you. Okay, so Ms. Wren, can you,
It's on.
good ATA? Okay.
Yes.
All right, can you please call the roll, please call?
Yeah, Mayor Linda Monroe,
Here,
Councilmember Amanda Anderson. Here. Councilmember Anita Anderson, is she on her way by chance? Okay, so Mayor Pro Tem Chu.
here.
Councilmember Ford is on her way. Councilmember James is excused absence. He sent a note that he cannot make it today. And then Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Commissioner here, Chief of Police, represented by Sergeant Lowry.
Here.
Neighbor Services,
Here.
Town Attorney absent, Town Clerk absent. Okay, that's 7:10.
Good,
Yep.
all right. Can we please have a 1 minute silent prayer? Pledge of allegiance. Okay.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ren, do we have any minutes for this session? Should we?
Unfortunately, we do not have, well, we have it, but we haven't had a chance to review it.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry, we will not, but you will have it later on tomorrow.
All right, thank you. All right, so we have, approval of the agenda. Councilwoman Truson. Okay, and, it's on the board, I did the project charge. Thank you, Ms. Brent, for putting that on there.
Yeah.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay, any nays? Then the agenda is approved. Ms. Brent, can you do the meeting rules, please?
Yeah. Rules for speaker. The mayor and council invite and welcome comments at public meetings. The mayor or chair will recognize you. Please introduce yourself at the podium, spelling your last name for recording purposes, and give the name of your street and block number. Example, 4300 block of 34th Street. Time limits for speaking are indicated on the meeting agenda. While speaking, please maintain a courteous tone and avoid personal attacks. If you wish to lodge a complaint about the performance or contact of any town employee, please bring your concerns to the attention of the town administrator, who will look into the matter and respond to you. As a courtesy to the other residents and businesses, the council requests that speakers not use specific addresses or names of individuals when describing a situation or making a complaint, unless the name or address is essential to an understanding of the situation or complaint. And noting the block is referred over a specific address. Code enforcement and public safety issues should first be brought to the attention of the appropriate department. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so are there any public comments? ATA? Anybody there?
No comments. No comments.
Okay, so now, Mr. Banks?
I'm here.
Yes, sir. Okay, can you, you want to stand here?
You tell me where I should go.
Because the
Oh, no.
camera's facing that way for anyone who's on virtual. It's okay for you?
Sure.
Okay, and you can move it any way you want that's comfortable for you.
Sure.
We don't care, but.
Oh, that's right.
I am.
Hey.
I'm Sam Banks. Nice to meet you. Oh,
Any way that's comfortable for you.
I'll do it this way so I can address
Joy.
the council.
Joy.
Online as well.
Check, make sure it's on. Turn it on, please.
I'll take the contact.
This is Mr. Sam Banks. He's responsible for the renovation of the town hall. This is funny stuff that was video. Okay, so whenever you're ready, sir.
So my name is Sam Banks. I'm the owner of Banks and Son Builders. I am the son in Banks and Son Builders. I've been doing this literally my entire life. My father started the company in the 1970s, and I took over the company in 2017. I grew up in the business, and then in 2002, I joined the Air Force and I spent my entire adult life as an officer in the Air Force. I retired in 2002. When I came here, I was stationed at the Pentagon in 2017. I told my dad, I said, hey, I think I'm nearing retirement. I think I want to take over the family business when I retired from the Air Force. And that's exactly what I did. So I took over the family business, and then COVID happened and I started to work from home, and then the business was able to grow. So many people needed work. And that's kind of how I ended up where I am today, in charge of the family business that's been around for over 40 years. I actually know the architect from the project because my father worked with her father. So a lot of the people that I work with in the business are folks that I sort of inherited from it being a family business. So that's a little bit about who I am and what we do. So we primarily work on medium to large scale projects. If I were to attribute a dollar figure to the projects, they usually range from $500,000 to $2 million. We sometimes do projects that are smaller than that. We also sometimes do projects that are larger than that. That is certainly our sort of sweet spot. We primarily work in DC only because that's where a lot of the work is. I would much rather work closer to home, and this is a lot closer to home. So I would be happy to be working much closer to my home. This is only 20 minutes away from my house. So we primarily work in DC just because that's where a lot of the work is. And we have been very successful. We are, if I were to say one thing about us, is that we are a very competent and capable business. Not only have I been doing this my whole life, but a lot of the skills that I picked up and learned from 20 years in the Air Force, I have now brought to the business. And you can't help but be who you are. And so I spent so much time being in charge of, because I commanded squadrons and things like that in the Air Force. So I spent a lot of time being in charge of a lot larger groups of people and much larger budgets. So quite frankly, this is easy for me. This is easy for me. And I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy what I do. And I'm thankful to do what I do, because I do really good. I work 7 days a week, and I just enjoy what I do. And that's what I am, and that's what I got here. Your project, I'm excited to do your project. I think your project is going to have a lot of high visibility. I think that'll be great. I think it's going to be an interesting project. And I think that it will be, in the end, I think it'll be a successful project, and one that the city can enjoy for decades and decades to come. I think that my philosophy is to get the project right in the beginning so that we don't have cost concerns later on. I see a lot of you are looking at the contract. The contract you'll see has a lot of empty spots because it is a design build process, which means that we are, as a collaborative approach, designing the building with cost in mind from the beginning, as opposed to sometimes people come to me with plans and permits that have already been approved, and then the project's going to cost whatever it's going to cost. Whereas in a design build, more collaborative approach, we can control the cost from the very beginning, which is important if you have a budget in mind from the very beginning.
You know, we started in January.
Mhm.
Can you enlighten the mayor and council on why they're going into almost a year? I mean, the design and features that they where they're going, and it's been a long time.
Sure.
And there are a lot of office in there.
Okay,
And also, there's a funding thing.
sure,
It's not enough of funding the money.
sure.
So there's a lot of constraints here. Well, we're trying to, all of us are concerned about when we're going to ever start the project.
Okay.
So I think you have to probably go to address that.
So I don't think that this part of the process has taken much longer than I would expect it to take. That's my honest opinion. This is a fairly large project, and it is a project that is designed with collaboration as opposed to direction, which some projects are. So it's taken us a year to get where we are, and we are about ready to submit for permit. That might be marginally more than what I'd expected to be otherwise, But I don't think there was any scenario in this project, because everybody needs to submit for permit in 6 months. That's my opinion. I also think once we do submit for permit, I think it's several months for the permit to be approved. I think that is a realistic expectation. I also think that once the project starts, I think it will take 9 months to a year to complete. So if you ask me why are we where we are, my honest opinion is that's just kind of how the process is, right? The process goes through so many people for approval, and there's so much back and forth, it just takes a while. It just takes a while.
Sure. And then you're going to make the permit process.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Evening, everyone. So as Sam said, it is a process. And if you think about January, when we do measurements, well, we were really literally just designing. It was 1 story and 2 story. So part of our role is to sort of refine the program and determine how to work it out best. And then Sam and I have been in communication, which is these changing plans, and we're still doing it. We are still trying to work to get to this budget numbers so that we stay on it. Sam is not a change order guy. I've worked with Sam. I worked with Sam's dad, I think. I think about 13, 14. And then I met Sam, and Sam and I have been working pretty steadily. We have at least 2 or 3 projects a year together. And so I've never known Sam to be a change order guy. He's very detailed on his job. He understands the project. We also understand the process as far as when it gets into construction. He's been really inspectors. He has a team of guys that work for him. He's efficient. He knows where it's at. So as for the permit, I do speak with the county, and there is what I call the ambassador program, where they have someone internally to help back the project. So it works really well for cities, and we're really to try to work with them today, but this is a pilot for them. They're still in the process of working it out, but maybe we'll be the ones to kind of give them the full, a project that has a full breadth. But they would see how, other things are, hopefully there won't be. But if there are, we have a point person that. That's a good news on that. Sam and I have a little bit more refining to do on the plans. He's made some really good suggestions about how to save some costs. One of them, just for example, is we have HVAC units which are located in the ceiling. They are horizontal units. A vertical unit is less expensive. So I've identified a place to place these vertical units, and that will save, I think, tens of thousands.
Almost doesn't.
Yeah, to go with a vertical unit whatsoever. So that's the kind of thing that we're trying to do as we go, before we go into permit, we're trying to do that, because that's the kind of thing that might come back in inspections, and they say, hey, you're showing this unit, use this other unit. What happened? And we might transfer to say, well, you need to get the permit, or, you know, to write a letter. We like to tighten up the set as much as possible with council, and that way you're not having questions about that. What's the other question?
I know that you stated,
Sam Banks.
I know that you stated earlier that you pretty much do a lot of your construction in DC. Are you familiar with the permit process in now? Because they're kind of like slow.
That's what they say. That's
Like we're going house.
Yeah, I just want to say. So I'm very familiar with the program process in DC. So I said that I do most of my work in DC because that's just a mathematical fact. But we do somewhere between $10 and $15 million a year per year in construction. And so of that $15 million, I would say $10 million is in DC, and $5 million is in the county.
Okay. My second question is, how will you communicate with your client? Do you have a project manager and staff? Or, how do you send out the schedules to let us know what's going on, what we should expect, and when there's a risk, in terms of the project, whether it's cost overrun, and it's not even available, that you delay the project? How do you communicate with, I'm going to say maybe possibly, yeah, how would you communicate with us to let us know so that we'll know where the project is, whether it's gonna be, a week late, so you're not gonna make your ETA, or, if everything is running on time, and how often do you communicate?
So I use a software called Builder Trend, and then Builder Trend. Builder Trend is what we use, and it has all of our projects on there. I'm not gonna really be able to see it as well, but essentially, these are all the different projects that we're working on, and then in all of these projects, yeah, I can select on them, and then go to the schedule. And then this doesn't mean anything to you, but if you can see it, what are we going here? We got framing inspection on Wednesday, that installation install on Thursday, energy inspection on Friday, and drywall delivery on Monday, install drywall next week, et cetera, et cetera. And so you'll have access to this. So you'll have access as a user, of course. It's a quirk in the software that only one email address can have access. So what some folks do is they create a new Gmail account. Or if there's an email, but you can't, the software doesn't allow you to get access to it. It doesn't allow you to access to different things. So that's how we keep track of that. And then of course, internally, we have so I'm very dependent on my software and the programs. So on the internal side, I also have a lot of software that we use to manage the workflow, all that sort of stuff. Make sure that people are where they need to be, and so the materials are where they need to be. So I have two people that work in office. One of them is my lovely wife, and the other is a guy. His name is Juan Serrano, and he actually works remotely in New Jersey. But his role works just fine for him to be remote. So he does a lot of the ordering. He's the person that actually maintains the schedule. I just don't have the time to, so I tell him, hey, move drywall delivery to Thursday. He actually goes in there and does it, so that's what he does. My wife does all of her accounting, keeping track of the invoices, keep track of the money coming in and the money coming out. And then on a day-to-day basis, my superintendent, his name is Robin. He's actually the person that is at every job every week. And he is the person that is in charge day to day to keep the train moving forward, as I put it. And then the person that is in charge of quality control is my dad. So he still works. So he's 75 years old, but he still works every day. Every day. He works every day. He works Monday through Friday. He works every day. And so especially at the beginning stage of projects, it's actually my dad and I that get projects taken off, but we do all of our own foundation work in house. So we do all of our basements, crawl spaces, all that sort of stuff. We do that in house. So we own our own equipment, we own our own dump trucks, excavators, all that sort of stuff. So we do that in house, and it's my dad that does it. So at the beginning part of your project, there will be my dad who does every day, and me helping manage and supervise. And then once we get past that initial foundation stage, then Robin takes it. Robin doesn't supervise that. That's all. Yes, go ahead.
It was told that during the first, part of the construction phase, the staff will be able to remain here inside the building. So we don't need to get a module or anything for them until you start to work on a certain phase of the building. So I don't want us to be here where, I know you may have things up for and I want to make sure that the staff here, as they are working here, and you guys working here, there's no, interfere with the quality of care that's in here.
So I don't think the bubble problem is already there because the first part of the project, what I was just speaking to, that Dad will be running is basically over there. So it doesn't interfere with what we're doing in here, except that it may be noisy and inconvenient. But I think that would be about it. It may not even be that noisy because you guys over here will be a good 30 yards that direction with this wall in between us. And so after we get the sort of shell of the addition built, there will be some point where we have to transition. I call it break into the house, where we have the new construction talk to the old part of the house. And it's at that point that you'll have to get out of here. I don't know exactly what that'll be. So One of the first things that we do as we get closer to submitting for the permit, and we have numbers and final contracts and final decisions made, is that's when I will flush out your schedule on the train. So, and then we are able to tie everything together so that I can slide everything right and everything moves all together. So once I have all of the details, then I'll flush out your schedule. And then I will know much better detail when you'll need to be.
I do. Thank you. Mr. Bates, thank you for your, presentation. I guess it's going back to Dale. When you were talking about, you know, I have a question for you, but when you were talking about the airflow, you said you just a different type of unit.
Yeah.
Explain that again to me.
So if you think about the one, excuse me.
I can't go through what's going on the wall, but.
No. So the one that you have people in the hallway down here is a vertical, furnace.
Mhm.
There are also ones that are the same thing, but they work horizontally, so you can mount them inside the
Right.
ceiling pattern. So the horizontal ones are more expensive. The vertical ones are cheaper. They do the same thing. It's just something about mounting it horizontally, it's more expensive than the vertical. They do the same amount of output, they do the same efficiency, there's no difference in like the energy quality of it, it's just horizontal ones are more expensive than vertical ones for some reason. And by tens of thousands of dollars for some reason.
Well, what about the units, what's the name?
Condensers,
No, the units that.
horizontal, we're not gonna have any.
No, the units that most people are now putting in their homes, but.
Mini split, just like-
Mini split.
Yes, we won't have those. Those won't be percent for you guys, won't give you enough output for the number of people that are gonna be in your space. So basically, as Sam and I were discussing, is the way that a unit is sized is based on the number of people and the type of use that is. So for example, this is assembly and we estimate it's probably about 50 people when you move units. That's the maximum number of people. So when they're entering business calculations, there's a certain amount of fresh air, there's a certain amount of heat, you can limit the whole unit has to take in. And it's really the outside air that makes the unit bigger.
Mhm.
Because you have to have fresh air come in, they don't allow you to arrive and go in, you have to bring fresh air. That's
It's like currently they're working like. You could be up here when I can hear this section, they're freezing. And then in that section, you're hot. Okay, downstairs it's, I'm feeling what they had found. So that's why I also, will the new units be able to accommodate the old space? I know you're gonna go out more than the space that are going up on.
Yes, so there are 3 units. The only space we haven't designed anything for is the current community space. So from the administrative area, plus the addition, that's the second. We need 1 unit for the second floor. So if no one's there, you can turn that unit down to, or up. Keep it comfortable, you don't have to. There's a unit where you can get your assembly space, and then also printers. So if you're not in here, you don't have to run that unit, you need to get to the space. So but most likely, that one is gonna run the most out of the but you can keep these, and that's for your operational costs. You don't have to pay to keep this entire thing if you're not occupying the space. And you can say, if you're hot in here and there's hot over there, because you're on different side of the building, you can cool that side and heat this side.
You need one of those spaces will have some films that, that's the key. So, they'll have some films that.
So now, it's probably. When do you, I know we still got way to tell you, and when do you expect to, possibly,
Right.
break ground?
Sure. So we do anywhere from 10 to 15 jobs at a time. So we're usually able to start projects within 2 weeks of getting a permit. So as soon as we get the permit, we're usually able to start within 2 weeks.
Because like right now, we're running into winter, it's like even this week, they're anticipating a little snow. And I know that we, but you can't, there's only so much you can do, if it's too cold, or too much, there's only certain amount of work you can do with that.
Sure, so precipitation is a problem, but cold weather is not. So we work 12 months out of the year. I get that question a lot from folks, and I tell them, we don't live in Minnesota, right? The ground doesn't actually freeze. So we can start digging in December, January, February. Y'all and I are building some condos right now in DC, and we're excavating basements in DC in November and December in the middle of the city. It's not a problem. The snow is a problem, but it's the same problem that rain is. So precipitation is a problem, but cold weather is not. So if we were to get the permit and be able to start in January, we'll start in January. It's not going to stop it.
No, and let's say you give us say you need something you need from us from the council, mayor and council, that needs to be signed or paid on.
Mhm.
You give us a deadline, and we don't meet that deadline. Do you have a rule of thumb that they were saying the other night?
Well, it's 2 days, it's actually 4 days for work. If they delay something, for how many days? Every day that they delay, is it another day on your schedule or? is it-
But it only depends on what it is. So a lot of things have sort of calmed down. And then, like the schedule that I showed you, everything is dependent on everything behind it. So it's possible that you could delay something on literally about 2 days, but after you could delay things on mining a full week because I said, we have that installation going in on Thursday, this other job, they can't just be rescheduled for Friday. So if we bust that schedule for that installation at that project on Thursday, I have to call G&D installation and get on their schedule. And that's outside of my control. They must be saying, we don't have any available to the 20th. So it depends on the situations. It depends on what it is, but it could be worse than the 2-day delay that you are seeing from your side.
You need my final question. Because you said you have to schedule, but you will constantly keep verbally as well. Come in and say, hey, we're level C now on the project. And keep us updated verbally as well, or those are just going to be that we see in this that program.
So I am always available to answer questions. Okay, I'm always available to answer questions. I do not do standing meetings, like we meet every Wednesday or something like that.
Right, I'm sure.
I do too much work to do that. If I met with every client once a week, that's all that I would do. So I meet with people as needed. If there is a need that you have, I am available. I am always on my phone, and I also like mail calls and stuff like that. So I'm always available. The schedule is almost always up to date. We work on the schedule every single day.
Okay.
So the schedule is almost always up to date. But if you have a specific question or specific concern, but we do need to figure out how I'm supposed to communicate with you, right? Because I can't communicate with 8 people.
Right.
That doesn't work either. And a lot of that, I guess, has to be decided you're in, by communicating with mayor, the administrator. Is the mayor going to communicate with Gail, and Gail's going to communicate with me? So I'm going to meet you wherever you are. And that's what I do with all of my clients. Sometimes for text, some for email, some for site. So I will meet you where you are on the communication. You just need to decide how we want to communicate.
So thank you. Anything else?
Let's just miss the second system. It was a 3-1, yes, well, the floor, oh, yeah, that is what she was talking. Under the second system. The first one is the permit, which I got the 6 months. And then it was something that she said, and then he said we had much to read. And then, so was the song. And he said, after the permit, we could take out just.
No, I think what I said was that the permit could take up to 6 months. I don't think there was a second thing.
So that's okay. Thank you.
I said once we submit for permit, it could take up, it could take a lot less.
Okay.
And we're all hoping that it's going to start. How long? And I think that y'all have some contacts, like she was speaking before, we're going to be able to work outside of the normal process. But the normal process, it doesn't.
I know you said you started in January, before we started this.
No,
Basically, look forward to. It was the size. You said, people was thinking. In the new space, yes, like the new space, like our council chambers, yeah, and then we have another space or something. And I'm kind of not complete or sure about how this whole structure
Oh, okay.
is, you know.
Oh, which about the actual.
And I got people get for even the residents in here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So,
and for the record, once you have access to the buildings and the plan on that.
yeah. So, well, and so how, this one's coming out, we're going out approximately to 29 feet. This way, and the administrative offices are gonna get a little bit bigger. So essentially, the administrative officer comes over, we will do it this way. But that whole space can go up to about 50 people plus you guys. They'll have a new guys and, there'll be movable chairs, outside one of the nice chairs. But, based on the square footage, you can fit 50 people. So the construction is just, it's for the space, it's just enlarged and it's going this way? Yeah, there you go, 29 feet, and then there's a second floor on top of that, and then that floor is for administrative spaces. And so this space is open administration, the, TA Ren, the mayor, I mean, your assistant and treasurer will be on the second floor. This space will be town hall, business, people coming in, HR, yeah. Yeah. And there's a council meeting room up there. There's a small council meeting room. Yeah, there's a small like conference room. Okay, so we can do renovation, we're gonna have a small room for the council. Yes, there's a small room. I want to get on that discussion. Yeah, yeah, it's space. If you want, yeah, if you guys want to use it, you can, it's flexible space. You can use it for office, you can use it for, you know, I guess we speaking, when I was speaking about construction, right? I think that should be open more, I think doing more this, conversation should have been had about the mayor council, because we are not the end all be all. So you have other residents who can run through the mayor council. And so spending that type of money just to add a conference room for the council. No, there's also offices or a meeting space. Yeah, well, the office you said was. There's offices on the second floor, and then there are 5 offices upstairs and a restroom. And then also janitor's office, stuff like that. That's usually say, but there's 5 offices that's vacant, or the 5 offices that have some occupants that you. Well, we know the various offices, the mayor's office, the TA's office, the assistant, treasurer, and the flexible meeting space, like the conference room. So that's on the second floor here. And this space is getting bigger. This council room is getting bigger. And then this whole space is being renovated for more offices. On this stuff. Okay. So, and this is just to the body. I'm not sure if we're able to talk to anything else, or we can add some other homes for council. But I just don't think, if we are going to be, I think we don't take into consideration the thing that we do not have right now. That's very important. So, if you could ask me, no, how would that be if we did decide to include additional room for the council? As long as we're not changing the footprint, and the impact isn't that big of a deal. So when you say footprint, the size of the smaller. It's the size of the addition itself, it's something we're not doing that. Okay. But it would impact how we distribute the air, whether how the ductwork lays out, that kind of stuff. So it's walls and doors. If we're going to do something like that, we have to do it now. Because we are going to talk about, we're going to approach the ABA about going from horizontal units to vertical units. So if we're going to make any plan changes, we need to do that. It's a very strong recommendation on that. And I'm so appreciative for the project, yes, but if you want to do something. What should be something that's a plan? So you're telling me you want to, you really haven't, you think we're through. We haven't talked anything when we initially did it to you. So, yeah, so we definitely want to have that conversation. I knew.
So she probably was gonna go 2 things because I want it. So I just have first question, website that we can go on and see the spreadsheet. That's something that things because it's supposed to go in, the other piece of to go in to look at the chart. Like I always look at the date, and the next date that it was revised or updated. Is that correct?
I don't think it has that capability. Where you can see the last time that because I can change it. I don't think it has that, say, last updated on the 15th. I don't think that it has that capability. But like I said, we go through the schedule on our own always daily.
Okay.
So, sometimes we'll know that there's been update, because when we do make updates, the schedule actually goes offline. And then we put it back on. That would be your view that was made, but, mhm.
Okay. And then I'm just trying to address Councilwoman Ford's issue. We were given the plans before this thing started. They gave us a plan. We all agreed, we even selected the type of work and area that we wanted, because we said we did not want chairs that are not movable chairs. We all agreed and constantly. We did all the documentation. Yes, we
Not the
did.
homes.
Yes, we
We did
did.
not assign any homes. It's not. You can say, you can send me that.
Okay.
If I know it is not a question, but you can send me these, please.
I understand. So we all agreed on the design. Because I remember we was all sitting up here, we gave us a copy of the design, and we all agreed on the design, and you told us how many rooms are gonna be here, how many rooms are gonna be here, a conference room and things like that. If we go in right now and change the specs of the design, yeah, that's so long, yes, okay, that was my question. If we go in and change the design of the layout, that's gonna delay it, because now we gotta go back to the engineers. Okay, yeah, and more money. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, now it's fine. I question. Yeah. Think about that, what's in the college just said. Yes, you did give us design, however, it wasn't stated that it's going to be a council office one. It was supposed to be a township office, so the council was be able to go in there and come here and work in that office. So when you say conference room, I'm thinking that we're gonna have a round table and we all can sit there and have a meeting when we can do that in the chamber. But when you said office, it was, they said, we're gonna either have the cubbies.
Please, okay, I'm gonna call for the morning. Please, let's do that now, please. Please. You talking about the numbers? Right, right. It's flexible, because one board did say office, he did, and we all said yes. Yeah, I mean, it's flexible space, like they could allow it. If at some point we need to make it a meeting room, it's big enough that you could get new guys to gather in it and use it to discuss.
Because that was one of our main concerns when we came to this, right now, the council doesn't have anywhere to come. We need to come down here, work, we gotta sit out here at the table. We have no private space to be away from the staff to personally work on stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what was my understanding from those plans, was going to be the council office, and not a council conference room. So there's a difference.
Yeah, that is perfect, it's fine, but like I said, it's not space, it's big enough for you guys to office. And we'll have a.
Is that one shot speaker coming in? So that's all, that was my concern, Gail, and just to get clarity, and I think it would help with clarity to council on the court as well, because that was what initially was told. Okay. And I will.
that's a better news. When we did the plans, we sent out stuff, you'll send out electronically. And just so everybody remember, we went through the design. They can't go back and forth. The design has to move on. You know, that's how it works. So, we went through all this, and at that time, it was Councilwoman Linda, who in the email, we were doing an email with their drawings. I didn't even Councilwoman Linda said, can we make it 2 levels? And at the time, we didn't really have the funds, but now we have the funds, and that's when I sent an email to everybody saying that the building is now going to be 2 levels. We wrote that out. And that was sent, that was the full council during those emails. We come here enough where, in fact, it was at a meeting where the council was even brought up. So we've gone through this and we can't go backwards. So we want to get the building started. And there is going to be a room, there's going to be the council. The conference room is much bigger than the office space. So it's, if you really think about it, it's much bigger.
And the office is also going to be on this level. Because your office is down, but you make sort of your office down.
Yeah,
It's
it's
also-
going to be that all these downstairs too, still do that.
That's like, you have some flexibility. You can use these spaces however you need to use them.
I recall, maybe, that was said, but in the midst, not some sorry, it was like, you know, in the midst of the conversation, that it, all of that was, it was, hasn't been rehashed, or explained, so, and I remember that saying that.
You have a lot of flexibility. It was designed purposely to have a lot of flexibility. I'm open for. This is a space and it's a question, or no? I had before. I'm not to say something before, but they need to make their faces, so. Because I had before. And that's how I'm playing with them. I feel my message.
I wanted to be pleased, explain to the council because you've submitted the order. And, we ended up releasing it because since we haven't started any work yet, the year's coming. Your contract says that, it tells, so they'll know this, we all have to say it on the checks.
Sure. So I submitted an invoice which is for the deposit. Pretty standard, and the deposit is covered sort of my time and services and expertise and my participation in the design build process. It was my fault for not submitting the invoice for payment sooner than I did, so it's a bit late in the game for me to submit an invoice, but I think we're definitely a false that passed, so I think that the invoice should definitely happen too.
And we, like I said, in the background, we've been working on the design together. I've talked to Sam several times a week. And we hash out any questions you have, or if the contractors have any questions, I've been answering. And feeling the ideas.
And that is part of this time, and we do it. Okay, as this time, everybody to know that there is an invoice that's been submitted. And so, this is, one contractor said, when it's time to submit the invoices, you just can't sit on stuff because that would really make two stuff, so you don't have to pay the engineers and stuff. So we've been on for that reason by 6 weeks on. A month and a half is either the check not being signed on time. Yeah, so that was a great idea. So
I, as a contractor,
seriously,
I,
it was a 6 or 7 weeks. And you know, say, we did it. Oh, yeah. We walked, they didn't come back to the job.
so, I, as a contractor, I don't always have my hand out for a check. But it is important that when I'm submitting an invoice, that we put the check as first as quickly as we can. I'm gonna have to learn and figure out whatever the rhythm is for the council, because it's a lot different than what I normally do. Most of my projects, like construction loan, the checks come directly from the bank, they pay pretty quickly. Or they come from homeowners and finance, and they write personal checks. So I do need to get a sense of what the rhythm is here, so that if it turns out that it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or whatever that number is to get the check dispersed, once we start construction, then my invoices will lean forward to account for that.
If she written at 30, you use the buckets, so you have that 30. Doesn't mean it'll take that long, but we can't use that 30. So, think what we're doing, she's coming up and, so that's something, like, if something's pressing, we don't have to move it.
I was not a very lengthy construction schedule, so the quality needed to be the moving what we need, building is pretty flat, quickly. It just, you know, these guys are gonna be moving, once they get in there, they're gonna be moving. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yes, no, he's, I had it for a couple of weeks, but I was scared to submit it to council, so I didn't be a blast and pay. So, yeah, so I wanted him to come first and explain that the money that was, he has to, you know, they don't work for free, you all know that, but I'm just saying. Okay, so thank you, you want anything for somebody else, everything?
No, I'm good. Do that. I understand exactly what I'm
Thank you, Sam Banks.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to, first say, for the record, that I am for the project, okay? I do want it to move forward. I'm looking forward to it like anyone else in the more. But again, I'm always concerned because when we make decisions, we don't make it just for us. And so I think more conversations should have been played inclusive of our community. That's it. And I've stated over and over that the council needs space. And so if it's something that I've expressed, and I'm sure I responded in emails and stated that, I think we should have been considered more than just having a large room. There's nothing separating us, nothing was in storage. Because that has been a huge complaint and consistent complaint. And so with that, also just ahead, let's say I want to do anything that's going to push us or do anything. Is there something we could do that would not impact our we would have to add something in there, and not just to do, like stores, some separations. What do you call the things that work when we have those little partners? Yeah, something just, for the council to be.
And then they change something as far as the community sizing. Okay, that's furniture, and we said that we use that as an example for how the furniture is that.
Okay.
As far as like the space, there is space out there. There's a lot of flexibility in it. Like you guys say, hey, everybody be on floor, we could do that, or we don't get to do that. It's really flexible. And we purposely designed that so that you guys knew, if you want this office, take this office. So
And so if we did talk about like the size, this is something that I did with the size of that space, it's something like this. But if you can give us an idea of the size of the space, that's what I think we can thank you.
the labels on the drawing are just like, but I mean, we tried to assign where people want it to be, but they're opposite. So I appreciate it. Yeah,
Thank you so much for your patience. I know you're welcome.
what do you do? Thank you. What?
I got one thing before. Oh, what's the point? Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that thing. Again, the win, appreciation out of time.
Yeah, oh, thank you for the picture. Oh, yes. Oh, no, we're good, thank you.
And I'm starting to stack down here and you guys can pass it down.
The golfer.
No. It looks like him when I was in my twenties. That was a long time ago. No. I used to. All right, take care.
Hold on.
I'd like to read it.
Do you have a copy of it?
No, I don't have a copy of it, but it's here.
Okay.
I didn't know you guys wanted a copy of it. Okay, so it was a letter, it was actually a nice card that was sent to us by one of our residents. That resides on Avenue Street. I am also with that information. That's it. It's one of our residents and basically says, may I read it? Okay. Okay, Linda and Joy. So we got Mayor Monroe and then TA Ray. I am writing to express my sincere gratitude for the town's excellent service in cleaning my fence and yard. I particularly appreciate Ms. Linda, that's Mayor Monroe, and Joy, T.A. Ren, for their prompt response and professionalism. I also would like to thank Chris for always helping me and being there when I need him. Thank you for your dedication and hard work. Your efforts have made a significant positive impact on our community, and I'm deeply grateful for deeply grateful for your commitment and time spent helping us. Thank you. Your resident's name, address, and then also thanks to Chris, Anthony, and Mr. Gibson.
Let's play this in. Let's play it.
No, that's not, that's not, it's only second person. But if you guys want to look at the card, I can, because I don't think I'm going to give out any names on the. The names of the resident, I don't know if that's allowed to. I don't know how it works.
We're talking about public meetings or something.
Okay, right, okay. So this is actually from, Mr. Rashida Stevenson. Yeah, so it's basically, she censored us, it was very very kind. And then she said, you know, you were out, but she said, thanks to Mr. Gibson as well. She wants to thank you. So this is Ms. Stephens.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you too very much. Okay, yeah.
So we didn't do this, we didn't do, mayor council reports. Councilmember, this minute. Mayor council, I have a really bad headache. It's raging between my and I don't, it's not, it's myself. It's very, really bad. I don't want to be happy to like that. Yes. Thank you for staying so long.
Thank you.
Enjoy the letter is still on the mayor council reports.
Yes.
Anybody want to say anything about it? It's just because I'm a bit guilty too.
Yes, I know that community is available, that's when goes on committee before the on Thursday, at 7 o'clock here in the town hall. And so I do invite you all to come out. And the committee reports out to the floor on Monday, like after, the meeting, I like to do my report or on the floor Monday. So I also want to say another announcement though, other announcement is that September, Capital Heights Toastmaster is meeting on the second Saturday, I'm sorry, second Sunday at 1:30. It's and they also be down for the second community room on the fourth Saturday at 12 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, at 1 o'clock, and then on the second Sunday at 6 o'clock. If you are interested, please reach out to TOCHTFC at Video Public.
So confused. Hold on, I'm sorry, that's what I needed. This, on behalf of the food giveaway on the fourth Sunday in the town, our deliveries are not as heavy as they used to be since the first of the year. And, our numbers have dropped, however, due to the federal furlough, numbers have grown drastically. We're reaching out to other entities to see if they can also supplement and give us the help, the food that we are doing from trade with those. Hopefully it's, if you all know of anything, any, organization, please let either myself or the council know, so we can make sure we able to efficiently
assist those that are in need of food. And it's not a council report, but it's council request or suggestion that, we perhaps try to figure out those big baskets. So I know council report is doing something, but something on behalf of the council because people are scrapping now, more like operating than we paid. The need is going very strong in with regards to that needs. And we want to try to help those that are in common law. They have a pantry sitting in front of their building. People can drop off food, non-touch the food, and put it in that pantry, and people can come by and take things out for them. We if we can do something about it. I just want to respond to what you said, because we need it. So we already so much to it. We not just with that spending money, we give it to a few people. We need to seek sponsorship. That's how they get these we can seek it. We get sponsorships for those. So I know if you're looking for one other people, we can get a sponsorship to get food to the town here. You know, that's how they do those things. When they have those food anyway, they're not, it's not coming from their budget. It's coming from sponsorships for the food. So I'd like to go, if that's doesn't I come up with the idea, perhaps maybe I said it, I understand about the taxpayer money. I'm saying if you all know anything or you have, like some of us have had, I have a lot of Cranberries, I don't use Cranberries. So I have brought that to help donate and to help supplement, the food that we get. But when I said the turkeys, no, not for the food, but for residents, so they can apply some type of, verification that they are residents, only residents get turkeys or turkey backs. That's the other juice. We have 1,500 birds. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, not a little under 5,000 residents. So we cannot take taxpayer money to do that. That's what I'm trying to say, because you can't do for one and not do for all. And we don't have that kind of money. So we would have to seek some type of resource, whether it's beyond our legislators. We can ask them for money. I'm just saying, I mentioned some today that we can ask Mr. Oriana, and we can ask our government officials to fund food for our residents. That's what you do. But we can't, because that way they're going to give us a whole lot of money, and it's just for that. We as a town, 200 people would cost us a lot, from our budget, and we have 5,000. So I'm just saying, I think it's good that you put that on the table, and you can solicit help from TA Grant, see what kind of funding we can get. In Wisconsin, you did good, it's the same thing as capital heights stuff. You seek money for stuff, and they all want to put in. They'll put, they'll put in, because they get money from the government for this. So I just want to say that makes sense. It does mean I appreciate that, and I'll find you like for service of the I know like we do college has having thing up there, but we maybe something here we brought like a turkey. We wanted to have a Thanksgiving dinner here at the town. Give that as for an internship for one of their trucks, they football at the dinner. And we get a dinner or we get out these products and turkeys and all the sides. It's just a suggestion, just a thought, because they say we may go back in soon, but the people are still starving, still having. But that's what it is. Anyway, okay. All right,
Yes, so I move to, 31. It's a resolution acknowledging veterans and the things that are supported to sponsored by the town of Capitol Heights Community Engagement and Sustainability Committee in collaboration with the town of Capitol Heights, with the town of Capitol Heights Administration and the town of Capitol Heights Police Department. And I do want to say that this is something that is on the behalf of the mayor and council, however, it is spearheaded by the committee that the mayor and council has moved and approved to be established. So this resolution is a mechanism that's needed for our veterans to fully acknowledge and honor of our veterans as well as our seniors. So this will let them know that, hey, we see you, we honor you, we appreciate all that you've done, the service to go. So we're bringing this forward so that we can be that support system. I do know that the Prince William County offers resources for our best state fully supports our veterans and acknowledge all of them. But we as a town, we could do the same. And like I was hearing Mayor and Councilmember Anita speak on, we will likely not have enough to do for every resident given the favor. However, it is just the start. We're also including the resolution is the plan for us to seek sponsorship to accommodate with some of the costs. So in this resolution, I'll let TA read it out. In the resolution, it consists of three different events. So the events includes a drive, it also includes a giveaway as well as a forum. So we do have over the partner, the American Legion, and that would be the post. What is it going on? Post 196. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. 196, we will be doing our forums, and they are the primary service givers or assist our veterans. And so they will be collaborating with us. And I do want to be sure that we acknowledge, well, I'm glad that we are acknowledging them in the proclamation. So I'll move on after the reading of the resolution that we acknowledge the Veterans and Thanksgiving Support Initiative sponsored by the town of Capitol Heights in the engagement sustainability committee in collaboration with the town of Capitol Heights town administration and these parts. After the meeting, that we acknowledge. Did you want us to put this on the floor right now? Okay, well. No, well, we gotta put it on the floor first. And you wanted to read it first, right? Okay, so you got me, so you want me to read that? Oh, yes, I'm ready. So, it's a lot because it's it's 4 events. Okay? So that's, including in the initiative. So it's inclusive of 4 events. Yeah, these doesn't, I mean, that's. Okay. We don't have enough. On the every time. It's not the norm. Should I read it? Should I read it? I have the floor. Yes, let's say it.
Am I reading it? Or,
That's the question. Bill's reading it. No, right to you.
the town of Capitol Heights, resolution 2025-39. Drafted by Councilmember Big Four, introduced by Councilmember Big Four. A resolution acknowledging veterans in the Thanksgiving Support Initiative, sponsored by the town of Capitol Heights Community Engagement and Sustainability Committee, CESC, in collaboration with the Town of Capitol Heights Town Administration, CHCA, and the Town of Capitol Heights Police Department, CHPD. Whereas the mayor and council of the Town of Capitol Heights hold a deep respect for its veterans, recognizing their profound sacrifices and services to the nation. And it believes it is a civic duty to celebrate their contributions and provide tangible support. And whereas Governor Westmore has prioritized supporting veterans and military families across the state of Maryland by strengthening partnerships and expanding post-service opportunities and access to state benefits. And whereas this unwavering service reflects a profound commitment to the foundational principle of freedom, liberty, and justice, representing the highest form of citizenship in defense of our republic and the collaboration with American Legion Post 196 offers a unique opportunity to strengthen the welfare of our veterans here in Capitol Heights by providing specialized technical assistance, resources, and information sharing. And whereas the American Legion Bridge was founded in 1919 by the Act of Congress and had for over a century served as the nation's largest wartime veteran service organization, notably playing a leading role in the creation of U.S. Veterans Administration and the enactment of Servicemen Readjustment Act of 1944, the GI Bill, right? Thereby establishing a powerful, enduring legacy of advocacy for veterans and their families. And whereas the Town of Capitol Heights acknowledges and appreciates the vital food assistance provided by Prince George County and numerous churches and nonprofit organizations who diligently support our residents, and whereas, in addition to these valuable community efforts, Capitol Heights is committed to providing its own direct support, evidenced by the routine community food giveaway provided by dedicated council members on the third, fourth, and fifth Sunday of each month, which demonstrate the town's collective dedication to residents' welfare. And whereas the Community Engagement and Sustainable Committee, CESC, was established by Resolution 2025-07 to promote community spirit, improve the town's quality of life, and advance sustainable living through responsible consumption and waste reduction efforts. And whereas the Town of Capitol Heights is a certified sustainable Maryland municipality, having achieved this status through dedicated effort and the work of the CESC and support of the mayor and council, thereby formally committing to environmental stewardship and quality of life improvements. And whereas consistent with its mission, this initiative actively promotes the principles of a reuse of waste diversion by encouraging residents to donate clean, gently used winter clothes and bedding, thereby extending the life cycle of goods and minimizing textile waste within the town, in alignment with Prince George County sustainable goals of waste reduction and resource management. And whereas in fulfillment its mission to promote community spirit, improve quality of life, and advance sustainable living, in line with the mayor and council's shared vision, the CESC initiated the Veterans Day Proclamation and developed a framework for the Veterans and Thanksgiving Support Initiative. And whereas the Town of Capitol Heights Town Administration, CHCA, is a key collaborator, providing the essential operational, logistical, and administrative support needed to ensure its success. And whereas the Town of Capitol Heights Police Department, CHPD, is a critical collaborator, using its presence to serve as the secure designated collection station for community donation, which reinforces its commitment to community-oriented service and accessible public partnership. And whereas the mayor and council are committed to fostering a compassionate community that honors and supports all residents, particularly its veterans and seniors, through this dedicated town initiative. And whereas flowing directly from this initiative, the CESC structured a comprehensive support system for veterans and seniors, designed around 4 specific events: the Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, the donation drive for winter supplies and resources, the winter supplies and resource giveaway, and the community resource networking forum. And whereas, while the goal is to give away most items at the community resource networking forum to maximize delivery of supplies and information, the town will also use available donations prior to the event to mainly address emergency needs of residents. And whereas the mayor and council view the Veterans Thanksgiving Support Initiative not as a single event, but as a permanent, ongoing commitment necessary to ensure continued support and honor for the veterans and seniors of the town. And whereas the mayor and council encourage the spirit of giving to continue throughout the year, resources, businesses, and nonprofit organizations thoughtfully contributing to the ongoing need of veterans through our partners, American Legion Post 196. And now there be resolved that mayor and council of the Town of Capitol Heights fully acknowledge and enthusiastically support the entire Veterans and Thanksgiving Support Initiative, including Thanksgiving Church Giveaway, the donation drive for winter supplies and resources, the winter supplies and resource giveaway, and community resource and networking forum, and endorsing the sponsorship by the CESC in collaboration with the CHCA and the CHPD. Be it further resolved that the mayor and council shall ensure the Veterans Day proclamation is formally read and presented at the meeting where this resolution is adopted, publicly confirming the commitment declared in the proclamation and providing official recognition to the American Legion Sequence Post 196 if representatives are in attendance. And be it further resolved that the Veterans and Thanksgiving Support Initiative is hereby designated as an annual event contingent upon future funding for which the mayor and council shall authorize a dedicated annual budget line item under the CHCA's budget, and any unspent fund shall be retained for the following year's initiative. And all the community and partner contributions, including monetary and in-kind donations, shall be used solely for the benefit of this initiative. The CHCA shall manage and track all funds received and the material costs for the 4 events. Estimated $600 for the current year shall be temporarily covered in equal shares by the existing discretionary budget line items of the CESC chair, the town administrator, and the chief of police, and this allocation is subject to the mayor and council's review and adjustment for future annual initiatives. And the CESC shall develop an outreach strategy to also secure sponsors and donations for all future annual initiatives. And be it further resolved that the town of Capitol Heights welcomes community donation for this initiative. The CESC shall prepare a detailed list of generally needed items for veterans and seniors based on the expertise from the American Legion and other service organizations, specifying that toiletries and non-perishable food must be new and unopened, while rigid clothes is permitted to be new or deadly used. And be it further resolved that the town of Capitol Heights fully calls on business and non-profit organizations, especially our very own local businesses and nonprofit organizations in the town, to collaborate with the CESC by offering their sites as donation stations and providing collaborative support for the drive and giveaway events. And be it further resolved that the official point of contact for this initiative are as follows: the CESC F4@capitolheightsmd.gov for initiative, events, questions, concerns. The CHCA 301-336-0626 for turnkey sign up on a first come, first basis. With veterans and seniors who are disabled, receive priority for available turkey, delivery, and perishable donation logistics. And the CHPD 301-420-2444 for the non-perishable donation drop off location logistics. Donations accepted based on space availability. And be it further resolved, the CESD shall execute a winter supply of resource giveaway utilizing resources collected from the donation drive. And be it further resolved that non-perishable donations shall be accepted at the CHPD through December 19, 2025, between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, with all donations intended for the town residents given priority to supporting the veterans and seniors. And be it further resolved that CESD is dedicated to maintaining and strengthening the working partnership with American Legion Sequence Post 196 to ensure coordination of local veteran outreach, resource sharing, and ongoing needs assessments to report. And be it further resolved that any items remaining after town's residents' needs have been reasonably met shall be donated to the American Legion Sequence Post 196 to support their ongoing community and veteran support initiatives. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage. Passed and adopted this blank date, November 2025, town of Capitol Heights by Mayor and Common Council. Amanda Anderson, Anita Anderson, Latonia Chu, Faith Ford, Victor James Senior, Laura L. Williams Senior, Linda Monroe, and Joy Ray. That's it. The end.
It was the, as acknowledged, but I'm using acknowledging the doctor.
We got to, early on now, somebody can put a motion so we could discuss this.
How they could make me feel in my face. When I first, I put those on to eggs. And then I put those on the floor to bring it up. The events included with the initiative. Wasn't from 2025 39.
Second. Councilman True. I think this is a great idea. The only problem I have is where we give out the turkey. I think that if we could possibly use, alternative financing, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because we're using taxpayers' dollars to fund this turkey initiative. And we're only giving the turkeys out to specific people in the community. So I know for sure when the government shutdown came about, we did have a resident and a couple of residents did come to me and I told them that we don't do that. We don't give out food. And, one resident asked in the female and they asked if we were giving out food or anything like that during this time. And I don't even, to be honest, I don't think nobody responded to the resident. But I don't think it looks good for us to take their money and then give turkeys to specific people and then tell them no. So if we're gonna do a turkey giveaway and if we're giving turkeys out, then I think we need to come together as a council and mayor and maybe we offer them and offer to our residents as first come, first served on a certain day and just give them out to our residents. But it doesn't look good as us as a council and mayor to take their money and say, okay, no, you can't give a turkey to the town. We're just giving it to our veterans right now, even though there's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at it from a perspective where it's their money because they pay taxes, I just don't think it's right that we single out a certain type of people to give turkeys to when everybody contributes to, the funding of the town. I don't have a problem with it. If we want to do that, we can give turkeys out to our residents, on a specific day. We have you show their ID and it's first come, first served, because we can only give it so much. But during this time, during the shutdown, a lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people are going through some stuff. And there are a lot of people, whether they work for the government or not, are going, and living paycheck to paycheck. And that's my only, I think it's great. I think this is great. It's just that the only issue I have is with the funding. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to give turkeys to our veterans, then you have to give turkeys to the residents. You have to offer them something because they're the one that's paying the taxes and that's really their money. And so, I mean, if we pass it on, then, I will. Councilman Field and I'll be in this team. It just brings me back to what I suggest we will put on the floor earlier. So. What I do is. Definitely there, we need to acknowledge them, but. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you want to give it to the veterans, then you open it up to everybody in the town. I had originally suggested, but the mayor said we could take town tax money, town people's money, and do that, so. I just want to say clear that. I have to say. Easy politics. That's your difference. But I'm not saying on my comments. I think I say from the district. Discretionary funds is still, the taxpayers' money. It's not our money, it's the taxpayers' money. And the discretionary funds is set up for the council to do different things. It wasn't set up really to fund, I may say, it was not like a funding type thing. That's not what discretionary funds is. That's why when you do your budget, you should put things in that line item where we want to do a turkey giveaway or something that everyone can be a part of. There's no first service, not everybody. It should be done like in the line item in your budget. As discretionary fund to use of that is really different than to say, I'm giving the residents, I'm giving it. You're using the taxpayers' money to buy them the turkey.
No, I'm being sarcastic. That's what that is when you do that. So it really should be. I'm looking at it as a town effort, and we should have been able, which we didn't do. I should have put that on the agenda. We could have gone out and gotten sponsorships. You know, I'm saying, and I took for that to help us move forward. We could have gone and got a sponsorship, and I know we could have gotten. So I think you go back to your the leadership kind of things we can. We've given out tickets in the past. And funds were taken from the town to do that, to give to town residents. So what's the difference now? That's one. Two, there was a line item in the budget for Thanksgiving dinner. So if not taken out of the discretionary, she can go back to that line item that was on the same budget that is for Thanksgiving dinner. And if we've done it in the past, we just did it last year too, we gave our turkeys. Council members spearheaded that, right? That's what I just said. I said, if it's open for everyone, and it's like, I'll use your words, first come, first basis, whatever, but you just can't use taxpayers' money for select group. Or you just can't use taxpayers' money and say, this is what we're gonna do for the people who come here. It has to be something, to me, really, it shouldn't even be taxpayers' money. A dinner is one thing, you know, people come, or whatever. A dinner is one thing, but when you're doing things on a mass scale, that's what most municipalities do, it's not just us. They get sponsorship. That's what I said. I maybe said it a different way, but I understand what you're saying. So you Councilman Riggs?
No, it sounds like a precedent that already been set. If you did it last year. But it's for all residents, right?
All residents, yeah.
So, yeah, precedent already been set. I would think we have to follow that precedent going forward. As opposed to, I understand, you know, between recognizing services and our veterans, but then what about your resident? Resident. You know, saying, I don't know, maybe it was tweaking on this like resolution to kind of make it sound somewhat all inclusive. You know, big town, but I get it.
So that, also the budget, this, TA Grant, you're in this as well, correct?
Yes, yes, that was just, yes,
Okay. Okay. The reason I'm saying that because the council will be approving, a change to the budget lines. But yeah, it's a change to the, I'm not talking about, we're doing this first stage, but that's it. But I'm saying in here, in the police station, so. Yeah, I think you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to understand this. It's just, she basically, the resolution is, honestly, it's very confusing to me.
I think that, yeah. I think Councilwoman Ford is just saying that basically the money that will be, gonna be coming out of like herself, not mine, and then the chief of police. So let's do that. And then, if anybody else wants to participate in it, with that. That'll be okay, right? But any other council member that wants to put money for it. Yeah, that's what I said, the contributions for all that. Dollars for.
Not that's in this meeting. This question for just the council, has she, have you, identified the store where you're going to purchase these turkeys from? Are you're a 501(c)(3), will we be a discount or something because of
That's gotta be something we get for taxes. So she can go and, like, let's say she says, I'm gonna buy the turkeys from August. And you reach out to Aldi's, have you reached out to Aldi's or wherever and say, hey, I wanna buy 60 turkeys from you. And just have them on sale this week for 50 cents a pound, and we get them at 40 cents a pound. So that's my question.
That'll be something good going forward, when the CESC, sends out to have a develop a strategic plan for the arrangements. So that's something that I could definitely do going forward.
Yeah, so even if your current initiative and you're going to something for, because the turkeys have the turkeys, well, then maybe I said this, how the turkeys been purchased there?
Yes, I think that is really something, you know, number you will be, you know,
They are,
but I purchased them from my line item.
okay, so you've already purchased them and you're giving them out what day?
I'm not interested in the resolution, I think that would be for the, finance for.
I'm trying to get some clarity, so can someone tell me when these turkeys will be distributed?
Yes,
What, do you know what day?
so, and the reason I left it to the discretion of the town administrator, because it will need to be orchestrated based on the call. Right, so when they call, the day will be on a docket expired, if it could be on a Friday, for no Wednesday. So it could be delivered. And I want to also, you don't know, you can make this.
I'm asking this question. And with all due respect, not to be smart, but thinking. Technically, the freezer, the big freezer is the refrigerator. We need that freezer for this coming Sunday, this third Sunday. So if you got 10 turkeys out there, you're taking up space from us. And that freezer. And we had no idea that it was going to be used for that purpose. No one notified us, myself or Councilwoman Amanda. So now we've got to do a shift into make an arrangement for the food giveaway on Sunday. If these turkeys are still there. I know. Okay, let's stay on this anyway. As we could.
If that's going to be to mayor, the patient has to participate.
Oh. Okay, so, again, what we can do is basically the flyers already been made, so we just have to put a date in there, we post it on social media and just get it out there. I do believe that we can actually, because today's Monday, we can try to schedule turkeys out of the freezer by this Sunday to actually just publicize it with mayor and council's approval, like this week. You guys have a copy of it. So,
Oh, I think, I mean.
so you guys, that's just, that's for your like consideration. Actually, yes, that was actually sent to you. Yeah, that was actually sent to you. So you guys can just take a look and see if that can work. I mean, we can change the date and so forth, just let me, with mayor and council's approval, we can actually do whatever, how you guys want us to do it.
Okay, please.
I don't see the green council either.
That was just a rough draft in terms of that Ms. Gibson put together. That was just for you guys to review, because I know that we were going to discuss this today. So we wanted to have all the flyers or all the information you might require, but all the drafts ready for you guys' consideration.
Yes, I see the mayor and council leaving, mayor and council, but there's the revelation, please.
It's very good. Sure. Suppose I want to start off with saying, we have and we do activities where we have a senior categories. Have a category saying, we do their seniors, right? Well, seniors. We were just going to do mothers, yeah. So we have done those things before. As we already said, we have given turkeys out without money. We've even given staff money for bereavement. they're not residents of the town. So I don't understand why tonight we are putting limitations on taxpayers' dollars. Because when I emailed and inquired, it was okay. But now that we're going to give it out to residents who are paying taxes, we want to say no. No, we want to, it was a concern. You said, no, it's something that you don't advise. So I have a concern, and it wasn't nearly the $600, if I might add. Okay, so this is for $600. So I just want the council to be mindful of the decisions we make once we on the dais and make other decisions or actions outside of when we in public discussion. And so I just asked, and just say, it's for the mayor, and I include the mayor. This is not just a thankful initiative, but as it stated, it was something I initiated. I put the mayor and council on here because it is taxpayers' money, and it is a part of the vision of mayor and council. I'm just spearheading the same way we spearhead others. We have the public safety committee giving out grants. I'm one at a time. I said this, the reason I said the reason to explain why I'm saying that. I'm saying that is because if you have the safety public committee on there. And it's nothing wrong with that, because if someone does something, you put it on there, but you also make it inclusive, right? You include the mayor and council. And that's what we've done. And we've been, that's even acknowledged our very own veteran that's up here on the documents. I thought you, sir. Yeah.
The mayor's
Marie. The mayor too.
Oh, yeah. That's how that. Yeah, I've mentioned that before, so and that's why I would think that you all would have that same spirit of, hey, we've done a lot. We should be recognized and we should be supported. And I had a conversation with Councilman Chu just Friday. We were talking about the proclamation and doing something, I think it was on Veterans Day, who also said to me on Friday, oh, you know what? The veterans don't feel appreciated. And so the initiative that I had discussed on last Monday, it's close to because she's supporting what I'm saying. You as a mayor and another, someone served in the armed, so that's in armed forces. I think that's something that should be taken into consideration. I do.
So I am in support of this initiative 100%. The only thing is it's timing. And the reason why I say it's timing is because the resident who actually sent the email was in, but they dropped off on the call. So what I'm saying is, if we're going to give out turkeys, can we all, as a council and mayor, put in and buy turkeys and let our town residents know that we're going to be giving away free turkeys. I know that mayor, you constantly say we need to go out and get a sponsor, but because of timing, right? I was going to see maybe that we can, because several residents have come to me about giving out food because of this situation. And I'm telling them no, and then they're going to see this big flyer on our social media and website with the town of Capitol Heights giving out turkeys only to veterans and seniors. And so that's why I was saying, can we as a council come together and decide on giving out turkeys to only the residents of the town? We buy a certain amount of turkeys and we say first come, first served, a certain time of day or whatever. And as long as they show their ID and we write the information, we'll give them a free turkey. I'm not saying that I'm not in, court, I'm not with the resolution. I am, but it's just the way the timing is because of what's going on in the world today. We can't say, oh, you paid your taxes. No, you can't get a turkey because it's only for a veteran. So if we're going to do it in this manner, just this time, and then we can come back and like Councilman Ford said, a strategy for the future and how to handle this would be good. But what I'm just saying is, can we come together and give our residents turkeys? Can we go in online later? Each person going online later? We donate $200 or whatever it is for each person, and we purchase turkey. First come, first served, and we do that.
Yeah, so my question to you is this, okay, so I can't, my house is over fixed too. So is it just basically for the Veteran Day, that's tomorrow, if that's my understanding, or are there's like two parts to this, one is for the veterans, because the Veterans Day is reading on the proclamation, and there's another portion, that is just basically the council members giving wage like,
Hold on, if that's
like,
something,
do you know what I'm saying?
that's
Like two parts to it, right?
After the 19th, they do it.
well, that's the.
That's what I'm saying, like,
That's-
you
That's
guys.
separate, but it's until supplies run out. That was the whole, and it was for residents, the priority was for the veterans and the seniors. And so if you don't have that many veteran and seniors calling and asking for a turkey, then we have a surplus to give to the residents.
Okay.
But,
And I was gonna say, just when they was me. But I'm able to do that. I know we're doing one thing prepared for here. It's like I said earlier, don't get you misunderstand what I said about the use of the meat freezer. At this point, you need to know how many is down there, so we know how to, I need to know how to adjust for Sunday,
I will check,
for space.
I will check.
That's one. Two, I know if all of these, they have a thing special going, you get a whole basket of 40, maybe. You can see if they can give us, they give you a whole Thanksgiving basket of 40. If council members each give up, let's say $200, maybe they'll give us a discount of maybe $30, and we get the whole Thanksgiving basket. And then it's first come, first served. First come, first served. And if you pick a basket up as a veteran, and check them off, they can't come back and say, you know, I'm a veteran, you know, I need an Anderson, then I come back now, I'm a resident and need an Anderson, or send my son or my daughter to pick up another basket for that same household. We just have to, we have to be good stewards in monitoring or keeping good record keeping on who's getting these things. That's my suggestion as opposed to doing community event this way, because we did get an email from one of our good residents who was trying to find out if we were getting out or paying help this year with that city passage. So this way, I don't think anybody gonna be running about a lot. I paid my taxes, I ain't getting one. I don't think at this point, we all trying to work together, everybody trying to keep. Let's, you know, you got connections at all this, you see what you have a discount on that $40 basket they got going there. You know, something. Giant only has the cheapest turkeys going. We are off the definition, so I'm trying to stay on topic so we can focus. This stuff. Your company, okay, no, just for this now. How many turkeys do you have? Oh, anyways. Oh, so we already have to, okay, so. He's got 40, but those are protected.
And seniors,
And see.
the whole priority, so.
And Fridays for this evening, but.
And the events, right. So,
Oh, okay.
Right, I knew.
I wanted to respond to something you said, and I appreciate what you said. However, those events, like you said, Mother Day and Europe, that was taken from a line item. That's what y'all voted on. It's not that's what y'all voted on. So you know, for the spending, that money was for whatever it was called. That's why that money, that's why the money is spent. So not, you know, not just, you know, whatever company. That was a specific line item that was agreed to. And, so I'm just trying to show that that's what that was. We on a order meeting. We want to order, we're seating.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we are talking, we are fine, we're talking. So,
No, we're in a meeting for it.
okay,
No, both of them are giving this new.
Like,
I took the vote on the motion.
oh, that's fine. Yeah, no,
So the motion is just to adopt resolution 2025-39.
It's not like
Amendment?
no limits about that.
Okay.
So I'm glad to hear that
you too.
You're right, but you're wrong.
For the people that do see us and that do speak to me, they comment about that.
Okay, you're right.
You're grabbing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and so, I'm glad to hear that the mayor and council, are interested in an agreement with wanting to give, with line item or maybe designate another line item, plan, if that's the case, we tell the council members that are willing to put it in for $200, $200 for the initiative, and then the resolution will be adjusted to reflect the, dollars. And it's calculated in here, and then we would definitely have to look at, the capital collaboration of mayor and council.
You have to, that's only true. And one resolution a lot.
No, it's not a lot, it's just $200 in the mayor and council,
No, it's. I know, what you got the floor, but
Yeah, so let me get understanding, the resolution is very clear on what it's for. I mean, it's telling you the amount of the budget, it's telling you the names of the events. I mean, it's giving you the contacts. So the logistics is up to our town administrator, based on the work of the day and available staff to do deliveries. So that information, which is detailed, will become a flyer. The same way that the flyers we would do, it's not nothing, anything to come up here and be, and have a, get approval for a flyer. We've never done that before. We just put our event on the floor. We say what days we would like to do. We do our flyer and we move on. So but I understand you have questions. Everybody has questions, and I am for collaborating, but I just wasn't sure with the timing what the council wanted to do. And the reason it was something I was so glad to be able to do, because it's when shoppers had that sale, or know that shoppers is going along, right? And so I was just very glad to be able to get it for a lot. So, month is long. So it's great. Thanks for the reason. I didn't get that.
because I'm going by the rules of order.
Thank you.
We're supposed to go around twice, debate it, it's no debating. And so this is like 4, I'm 3, I'm just talking all of that. So I'm just trying to say, how much longer?
Just that we want to know, just when I can, in the future, you said it's confusing, I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah,
Clarity.
for me.
Yeah, I want to get clarity, what's confusing?
It's, to me, it's very confusing. For me, it's like, you're saying the same thing in multiple paragraphs, but it's still the same thing. It's just being said another way. For instance, I'm not going through all that. I'm just telling you, for me, this is very confusing. This is like,
So what do you say about confusing? You do that?
I'm not going through that.
No, you said you're going to give a
I'm
comment,
not
probably,
going,
I'm just going to get you clarity. You're going to give that type of comment if you would give some specifics, you don't just thought this is confusing.
you can't tell me that.
Nothing, but well, that's perspective, you have to that. If you want to kind of say the resolution by law, or it's not, you should have a little more specifics with that. And that's all I can say to you.
Councilwoman, please.
I know, we gotta stop this.
No, I have to clarify because she said something incorrect and I want to clarify. Yeah, when I said to donate from each council person line item, that was separate from what she did. I wanted to give our residents turkey with that money from the line item because she had already purchased and used money from her line item. So I was just asking totally separate from what she's doing because of the climate right now in our community. And it as I said, it didn't look good for us to give to a specific group and not give to another. So that's why I was asking if we as a council American donate from our line item to give to the residents. The residents that are not veterans, the residents that are not seniors, who would need a turkey and a first come first served. So it wasn't to donate to her physical, resolution. Okay? I just wanted to make sure that we're clear on that. I yield.
Okay, so with it remaining as is,
Do I call the vote, motion to adopt resolution 2025-39?
yes.
Okay, so, Councilmember Net Anderson,
Is this correct? I'm making a friendly amendment to it?
with that to come.
No. You have to make the friendly amendment before we go vote.
Yes.
Well, I need to make a amendment to the proposal. Looks like 60 been all around and talking about what he's done too, so it would be in her resolution. If we're gonna try to purchase turkeys for other residents.
So, hers was a separate thought. That was the proposed resolution.
It's a friendly amendment to what the council in the fourth term has to let each council member give up $200 for their line item to purchase additional turkey or turkey baskets for residents. In addition to what she already had for that.
Yes, I'm hoping to family, and the council members are interested in, and donating, contributing to be a part of this initiative. I'm definitely interested. Yes.
I get a second?
So,
Thank you.
Okay, T.A. Grant.
No, let me do it like this. You have to either vote this resolution down or vote. That's it. You can't keep debating it over and over. You have to vote it on yes or no. That's it. And then if you want to do a new resolution, that's totally different. You still accept that amendment with the basket. That's what we put him on the floor. But T.A. Grant, please call the vote.
Okay, Councilmember Net Anderson,
Is this would be a friendly amendment?
yeah, I'm gonna read it. A motion to adopt resolution 2025-39 with Councilwoman Leah's friendly amendment, which is accepted by Councilwoman Ford. Each council member to give $200 from their line item to purchase turkey basket.
Yes.
Representative Chu, sorry.
I'll be my own front. You vote for me?
Because we know it doesn't.
Representative yes. Councilmember Ford,
yes.
which is Mr. James Sander, Councilmember Williams.
Is that to have the additional line?
Yeah.
Into that resolution?
Yes, and also to give away, to give,
Fires.
yeah, the fire. And to also add $200 to fund your line item, $200 to buy the turkey basket.
Right. Okay, yes.
Okay. So then I just want to confirm, we'll update the flyer and we'll update the resolution. Okay, that's 4 ayes and 0 nays.
And so, can I just add,
So I'm gonna add more, okay?
yeah, and so for, because, see, we don't be talking before about, putting sponsors. Yeah,
We already took a vote on it, now you can't add something.
like, they make the money, and I know, I'm thinking of that, so we
The vote was on the resolution and the change. You just can't now edit the resolution.
yeah, I mean, you say I have to edit it because I'm adding the 200, that's what they're making. Yeah, but what else? Another council member, so I have to, I take a spot, because those are sponsors. on the resolution, because they're adding, they're contributing to the cost. That's the amendments.
Okay, yeah, but you're talking about whenever you voted on, you're gonna add it. I thought you were trying to add something different. What are you trying to say?
Instead of putting, and if this is all mayor and council contributing, we would just put introduced by mayor and council. And I could put, introduced by mayor and council, we have some, but we just put this, the names as we've done in times past, put everybody's name on it. That's. Okay.
Now, in the resolution, but you asked me since you started to make the resolution. I thought she was. I just understand the wrong vote. You just said that.
City tax, don't forget. If you get, let me know. Or something, so that you can say, like, I think, and then let me know the contribution side. That's it. So this is the taxes, like. Yeah. And you know, so I can, I got it, stuff there. Else, you can send me.
Okay, yes, yes, he wants to poll. Councilwoman, see what you do now, did you? Okay, that's a big one. Are you contributing on that? Well, I see, when I did the math, I did it by 700. You want the floor, please? No. Okay. All right, yeah, you do it? Okay. Good.
Let's make it wrong. I apologize. But Mr. James might want to participate too, and also Councilman Amanda. So I guess I would just reach out to them and see them. Information to make sure.
I just, with all of that. That's something. So in the resolution. This is the, after the resolution is the proclamation.
Which you have really have.
And so the TA, this is.
I think that the marriage, or somebody needs to read it, because I'm gonna video it. If that was like reason, right? But then I would like, if you guys want to read it, I was going to video it, and then I
I think this is a wonderful, like, since I'm opening up in this. I
think I misread this one. I heard this whole thing is about the turkeys. Right? Yeah, you should say, it's about the donations and stuff. Let's get into a surprise recess thing away. I read all that, but I'm very confused. I'll just have to tell you, I'll talk to y'all off. Yeah, like that. I'm saying, I'm just telling you I'm confused. That's the honest truth. For you reading the proclamation, which got for the lesson.
But the proclamation, you want to, read the proclamation? Let me know when you're ready.
And I don't know. The council obviously is agreeing to this because in this, backtracking, we'll put this as the thought. This is that other two. The council was agreeing that this is the indefinitely forever, the last resolution, that's what it said.
Those things is based on the, it's based on the every budget year, with the mayor and council.
But forever, nothing, literally.
It's an annual,
Yeah, that's what we voted on and I.
it's Thanksgiving.
No, I'm just saying that. The proclamation, can you read all this, Bill? All right.
Hold on one second, okay. Okay, are you ready? So do that.
Okay, a proclamation from the town of Capitol Heights honoring Veterans Day and acknowledging the town's commitment supporting its veterans. Whereas the town of Capitol Heights joins the nation, the state of Maryland, and Prince George's County in solemnly observing Veterans Day, November 11th, a day dedicated to honoring all those who have served in the United States Armed Forces and recognizing the national theme of service to our nation, echoed by Maryland Governor Westmore's principle that service will save us. And whereas the spirit of service is continually championed by Governor Westmore, who has made the support of veterans and military families a top priority for Maryland, including signing legislation to expand employment opportunities and increase access to earned benefits. And whereas the unwavering service to our nation is a testament to a profound commitment to the foundational principles of freedom, liberty, and justice, and represents the highest form of citizenship in defense of our republic. And whereas the town holds its veterans in the highest esteem, recognizing their profound and unwavering sacrifices in defense of liberty and the security of our nation, and it is our profound privilege to pause and honor their service. And whereas the mayor and council are committed to translating this profound gratitude into tangible, ongoing support for our veterans that extends beyond a single day. And whereas the town's own community engagement, the Sustainability Committee, has stepped forward, leading a focused local effort in partnership with town administration and the town of Capitol Heights Police. And whereas the establishment of the Veterans and Thanksgiving Support Initiative is a direct expression of the town's pledge to honor and support our veterans, offering community fellowship and assistance during the holiday season, and is powerfully enhanced by the committed partnership with the American Legion Sleeping Post 196. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the mayor and council of the town of Capitol Heights, Maryland, that we do hereby joyfully and honorably recognize November 11th, 2025 as Veterans Day in the town of Capitol Heights. Be it further proclaimed that the mayor and council officially support and commend the Community Engagement and Sustainability Committee on its efforts partnered with the town administration and the town of Capitol Heights Police Department to establish the Veterans and Thanksgiving Support Initiative. Be it further proclaimed that the mayor and council offer their heartfelt thanks to every veteran residing in the town of Capitol Heights for their selfless contributions, their sacrifice, and their enduring example of service. Be it further proclaimed that the mayor and council encourage all residents to join in honoring the spirit of our veterans service by supporting the community efforts designed to recognize them. Therefore, the mayor and council of the town of Capitol Heights proclaim November 11, 2025 to be Day of Remembrance for Veterans. Yeah.
This is for the word for proclamation.
You want the floor? Um, Trust me, excuse me. Yeah, and for. This is the one. Yes, so, oh,
Yeah, no, this is like a political time. Yeah, yes, that is fine, my thought. The private nation, be able to just, yeah, because he's going to make that, but on behalf of the shared vision of the mayor and council.
I think that's it, and then that's what I'll
I
have to
can't
find
do that
out.
over, I don't know.
I think that's the sign for that.
If you don't, know, I just put up this stuff.
I think we need a question on that.
okay, morning from the new York. There is, it tells, a proclamation should come from the top. You want right, it should come from the top. No, it's got the sustainability committee, it should come from the top, that's it.
No, we talking about the initiative, it seems like, me, that's,
No, I'm talking about this proclamation.
I know, but it's a proclamation, but
I know.
and it's identifying the American Legion. You can put in a proclamation. Because these
I know
brand
what a
many of
proclamation
them. It's like, so we just identify in the proclamation as.
For respectfully. Let me say this. You don't have to agree with me. I want to open the floor because I was wrong in saying that you need to open the floor for comments. But when somebody comments, it's not to debate, that's just their opinion, and you have yours. So I want to tell all of us that. So now, do you want to put the motion so we can the comments? But you don't do anything. Why are you not? You have to sign. Okay.
I know you do a motion before on the proclamations you got.
I don't remember doing that proclamation. So you need
It's some of the proclamations.
Councilman Sherry, I said, I don't remember, I'm talking to.
We want to be acknowledged for the work
For
they
the
do.
town, I don't remember the doing that for the. To the town, and that proclamation doesn't require, the signature of the town for the two parties of vote. This is,
And one thing for the council.
one of us out here, and that's, yes,
I just, I don't have a problem with the proclamation from young players trying to present. However, the proclamation is not really truly the people that we are honoring. There's a lot of other stuff in a proclamation that doesn't fit in a proclamation that we are honoring. And I just want to give an example where here it talks about what they've done for the country, how they serve, the dedication. It talks about the work that they have contributed in the community, both in times of conflict and in times of peace, whereas the nation has, it's just, because the roots. No, sir, your Lord, I'm just saying, I'm not just dismissing your proclamation. I think it's great. It's just that the wording in this proclamation is not what should be given in a proclamation. The proclamation should be given around our service people, only our service people. This proclamation is given, whereas the town engagements and stuff, the community has stepped forward. That's not in the proclamation. You don't do that. I'm reading, and we have 4 different samples of proclamations as well. And it has nothing about that in it. A proclamation is given recognition to the group of persons that in the proclamation. We should have none of the stuff, everything in the proclamation that is full of truth and values. And it talks about their commitment, what they've done for the country, what they've sacrificed, and all that stuff is given. We are recognizing them. We're not recognizing this town and nothing, no communities, no nothing. We are recognizing our veterans. And this proclamation should be geared towards the recognition of the veterans. So what they've done, what they contributed, community, with everything. It's not about a committee and Thanksgiving initiative and all that should not be in this proclamation. I think it's great, but I just think that it needs to be worded a little different to show more substance of our veterans and why we're doing this proclamation to our veterans. That's all. That's important. That's respectful.
Yeah, I agree with Nick, Tim. It's, on our job, and we can talk to them together, and so, that's exactly because their whole, bio, directly to what they might be.
I agree. Well, nobody asked me, but it should be, even when you're doing all three families, it's just the family stuff. That's what vote, President Ford.
Yes. So the proclamation is for honoring.
I'm not gonna put the motion, because I keep going, and I keep going back, because I put my mouth in too. Let's put the motion on the floor, and then we do the context. Oh, but you just said you don't want to do that. We never done it. That doesn't mean it's right to you. I've only signed proclamations that we done with families. That's why I said, when did we do that? From the town. You know what I mean? People proclamation. I'm just being honest. I said, I don't know for some, selfishness of somebody, but it's in the tail, I don't know. They put all of this stuff in it. But proclamation, okay. I'm doing it, I think that. But this is, at this point, the council has to say yea or no. It's not one person. To tell them, proclamation, yeah.
We don't say the other, we like come into the proclamation, we can stand.
Okay, I don't understand what you're doing.
Okay, maybe like to see, they just give this clarity. It says honoring veterans.
So then why do we have this on the agenda? Okay, if
That was in the resolution.
no, but if it doesn't require anything, you better, let's move on. No, I don't agree. I don't want to debate it.
Okay, so this, let's have this sound.
No, you got one person here saying that she doesn't agree with the proclamation. So why are we even discussing it then? If you don't think that it involves anything.
And what I'm saying, this proclamation is for honoring Veterans Day and acknowledging the town's commitment supporting its veterans. This is clear with the proclamations.
Right.
And so that's why it was included in here.
Yeah.
We thank the veterans and Thanksgiving support initiative. So
I'm just saying, she had her comment, Councilman Williams agreed with her comment. So that's what I'm saying, you have two people who are not supporting this proclamation. But if y'all say it doesn't matter, somebody can just write it, and it doesn't have to have any approval, let's go to the next agenda.
So I don't want, it's a proclamation. And if it could, so the proclamation is honoring them and what the work actually we're doing for them. So what is the, would like to amend something or take anybody's name off? Just, what do you want to do? I understand it says honoring Veterans Day and acknowledging the town's commitment supporting its veterans. It says that's committing to do what the title says in the resolution details. So,
Well, if you do this format, you don't just sign
it's something announcement.
I know what it is that we need to take all these people signature lines up. And then just be a proclamation coming down. That's what I just said.
So take all the signatures.
Yes, and just let it be a proclamation from the town. And what you got on the letter, you know?
Okay, so with no signatures, no signature of the mayor,
No, take it off. So I'm trying to tell you, if it's just a proclamation coming from the town, then that's what it should be.
how format, do we just?
No, now I sign all proclamations, but it's not full council. Which that's why I said you, because it's a vote, that's a vote.
Yeah, and the reason I was making that because you're going to take council art in support of supporting our veterans. That's what I would think. So do you please, the council, would you want me to take your names off of the resolution? I mean, the proclamation?
Already got that they supported in the proclamation. I'm talking about the format, proclamation is not that.
I mean, the last proclamation put this comment. We may not have to that.
That is the other, mayor, the council, or commission, which program.
So that's
But
what
how these other important votes, yeah, to, what you have there is a voting format, that's why you have a signature block. You can't go from this people. The United States, so you know, about. So we can with something. I just wanted to acknowledge the council, and I'm still council, so one of the 7 tone, and I know you. And what I'm saying is, the reason I don't agree, that is not the same as we're sitting up here as a council. That's not a council, that's an organization form. It's only speaking as a mayor and council. So. He's already done. And I get what she's done, what she's doing, what she's done, including and acknowledge that we are a united front coming together and do this, acknowledging our veterans. Finding it is not going to make us or break us or hurt us. I don't see that. And we need to decide, we're going to just have a proclamation with no signature or a proclamation with. I mean, I commend you for knowing to include us all on this, as if it's, you know, and we did it on one point for it. I don't feel the way shit, no, that's. But I don't have a problem with it. If you, like I said, I don't. I agree.
What does it do? Is it a group effort or is it just so I didn't have to? It's an honoring veterans and we acknowledge the checks. It's about to what we're not to do. Oh, that's okay. One of y'all at a time. Can you read it? Let me see that.
Yeah.
This is a proclamation for veterans.
Mhm.
But this is Veterans Day and acknowledgement pertains commitment to actually do action, not just give a proclamation and talk. That's what actually the rest of the program. I mean, the public, the said Veterans Day.
Yeah. If you look at your Veterans Day, then you should have some kind of action by your, why you, I guess we read it. Something like here, where we're contributing so much money, $200,000 per council member. So you do proclamation, then what we just did, once you do proclamation, attach that to that. We present this proclamation based on what we, the resolution.
But we identifying the resolution in this file.
You don't have to. Do Veterans Day first. Do Veterans Day first. Proclamation. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not aware.
no, the party's fucking cheating, stopping them. We're in a meeting.
I know this.
She did it.
So,
Excuse me, don't talk to me too, stop it there. Not talk to me, you said, well, y'all gonna do that, you said, no,
yeah, that's true. Both corners, both of y'all do it. Both of you do it. Both times. So it is annoying as heck for me to sit up here. So, okay, so, yes, so you had it forward, and then Ford was responding, right? And they were. So where are we at? So we can move on. We got 2 more.
Come back. You ready? So what do we do? What do we agree on?
Yeah, I just want to know what's right. So what we agree on. The proclamation is still not.
So we can keep it moving.
But
It's not, let me put it like this, as chair of the meeting, it's not that big a deal. It's already, she did it, she did it in good faith. Okay. She did it in good faith, so it is what it is, we're all signed. Is that good? Okay, so we can put it on next week. So we can keep it moving?
all right. So I just wanted to let them know, let them know, also, I do want my plans, that's what it's, no, I'm not gonna take 30, see you back, you know, like my. It's in front.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're good. We're all good. We're gonna just all sign it. As a cohesive unit, we'll just all sign it. We go on to the next, we good there? And we'll do that bundle edit. Okay, okay, all right.
But we don't want to read this and.
I did record that proclamation, we would, right?
You me read that?
But she read it, so you're not gonna be able to see what's on it. She read it, she read it and I recorded it. She was the names and all that.
She's saying it's not the same because she made an edit. So what I read is not what.
So you wanna reread it again?
I didn't get for it, so I'm.
I just record. Can I say something?
It's on the topic. Is it on the agenda? We're being recorded.
Okay,
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go on to the next one, so we can discuss it, and I'll come back to you. And go on to the next one. So, the next. 40, isn't it? 40, you don't have, you don't wait for response, right?
Oh, yes, so this is, okay, this is for the business resolution from the back, so it is the community of accessibility and language initiative. And so it was in partnership between CESC and Iglesia, Pentecostal, Vida, Abundante Church. Now, this initiative is in relation to, our residents who are maybe blind, deaf, here, or are Spanish speaking or alternate speaking community. And so this effort is to align or help commit the town to improving and advancing its communication And it's reached to that community right now. Basically, well, if we were here before, I'm just saying, I didn't get them a bit, I didn't want to go into it because I'm not presenting it right now. I'm not presenting it right now because I want to wait to get input from the church, and this is our local church, it's a church building, it's a very speaking church. The pastor. It's watching the rest of the those things. Yes, the singles now. Yes, so it's with, and we have a resident who will co-lead this initiative, so community assist with that. So, but I want to do it because like I said, I wanted to get more input before I put on the floor regarding what we I want to make sure it's fair. I want to just hear from them. Before I bring it to the floor, and I would like to bring to the floor, the fourth Monday. With any feedback or changes, any suggestions, and they will definitely give feedback or speak if it's just sure. But that was what is this? No, this isn't. No, this is just for community. Okay, yes, other organizations. No, yes, that's what I asked you.
Because, religion and politics, it's not good.
Okay, so we're not talking about the news, we got having a space that they are comfortable, they're always comfortable to be comfortable. Don't ask them, so people see it.
No, I just want to know, I just.
So that is strictly for that partnership, they all part of that.
Something that's gonna happen. Okay,
And so it's not a floor though, but,
okay,
so
it's
this
not for them,
Yeah.
so she's not putting it
I
out.
just wanted to share.
You have
Yeah,
a comment,
just religious comment.
but it's got to be brief because
Oh, no,
we discussed it, and in order to discuss it, this as well, we have to move it to the floor. But go ahead.
no, I'm here, I think
Okay.
it's an organization within the church, right?
No, it's the church, it's the pastor of the church, like we partner with, a pastor governor, or we'll partner with, pastor, scholars, we'll coach, and then different churches, so that's the partnership. And I'll just say, pastor, this is the next one. Okay, so again, that's the rule. Okay.
What's wrong with that? You're reading now.
Okay.
You got that too? And she said
Yeah, so it's another 25. That's resolution 2025-40. Yeah.
And it was just the conflict of schedule, I wasn't able to get what I needed. So resolution 2025 is a resolution acknowledging the establishment of a collaborative partnership between the town of Apple Heights Union Radio and Sustainability Committee and the Vida, the Community Development Center, incorporated in support of the radio, in support of the at the table. In support of at the table. But they will do this. Whereas the mayor and council, if you mind these models and get in and out. Sure, you're having, no, I can, no problem. So, okay, Town Price, resolution, yeah, I'm sorry, with the chair's approval, sorry. May I go for it? Yes, ma'am. Okay, Town of Capitol Heights, resolution 2025-41, drafted by Councilmember Faith Ford, introduced by Councilmember Faith Ford. A resolution acknowledging the establishment of a collaborative partnership between the Town of Capitol Heights Community Engagement and Sustainability Committee and the Greater Beulah Community Development Center, Inc., in support of the Table Act Greater Beulah. Whereas the mayor and council of the Town of Capitol Heights are committed to ensuring good governance and promoting the general welfare of all residents. And whereas the town seeks to collaborate with nonprofit organizations throughout the community to effectively deliver essential services and amplify community impacts. And whereas
Mayor and Council of the Town of Capitol Heights approve the establishment of the Town of Capitol Heights Community Engagement and Sustainability Committee, CESC, by resolution number 2025-07, which defines the CESC's core mission to include fostering community involvement, enhancing the quality of life, promoting sustainability, and connecting residents with local government. And whereas the CESC's function is further defined by its responsibility for spearheading information, sharing, and networking activities and initiatives designed to connect residents and organizations, valuable town resources, and community-wide programs. And whereas the Greater Beulah Community Development Center, Inc., GBCD, the nonprofit arm of the Greater Beulah Baptist Church, operates an impactful cathedral at Greater Beulah to provide hot meals and essential resources delivered in a respectful and encouraging manner. Neighbors experience homelessness and food insecurity. And whereas the table at Greater Beulah initiative operates on a recurring schedule, having lunch on Sunday, September 28, 2025 at 12 p.m. and continue every fourth Sunday to provide a consistent assistance to the community. And whereas a collaborative effort is established in support of the table at Great Beulah to facilitate joint initiatives to achieve great impact in areas such as addressing food insecurity, fostering community spirit, and building unity among residents and supporting vulnerable populations in the town of Capitol Heights. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the town of Capitol Heights by establishing a collaborative partnership between the town of Capitol Heights Community Engagement and Sustainability Committee and the Greater Beulah Community Development Center, Inc., GBCDCI, in support of the table at Greater Beulah is hereby supported and acknowledged. We have further resolved that the town administrator acknowledges and supports the CESC realization town communication platforms, including social media, electronic newsletters, to execute the collaboration outreach efforts. Be it further resolved that the CESC commit to financial support for the table at Greater Beulah by contributing quarterly contribution of $100, totaling $400 annually, based on the ability of town funds, with these funds specifically designated for the purchase of food and supplies needed to support the ministry's efforts. We have further resolved that the town commits to providing support for residents in need by utilizing the CESC as a liaison to connect between residents of the town, identify this GBCDCI program for assistance with appropriate town administrative service and resources. We further resolved that the GBCDCI and the town commit to reciprocal information sharing regarding the observed needs of residents and the type of programming provided to help the town better assess the community needs and improve the quality of life for all residents. We have further resolved that GBCDCI and the CESC will establish a joint volunteer and service network that coordinates town residents, the CESC members, and affiliates with the program's specific team, including meal prep service, welcome and desk care, and logistics, thereby promoting civic participation. We have further resolved that CPSC will provide logistic and resource support for the table at Greater Beulah, including helping to coordinate supply donations, supporting volunteer recruitment. We have further resolved that the CPSC will grant sustainability goals by utilizing its expertise to assist the GBCDCI in implementing resources conservation practices and maximize waste reduction efforts for the initiative, thereby promoting environmental stewardship. We have further resolved that this resolution takes effect immediately upon its adoption. Classic Frank adopted this Frank of November 2025, Town of Capitol Heights by Mayor and Common Council. And all the council members and the mayor and the CEO.
I'm going to acknowledge and approve the resolution 2025 31.
That's something. Councilwoman Chu. Those are. Councilwoman Chu. Oh, okay. So, I'm listening to all of these resolutions and things like that. Just a couple of questions. So for this resolution, I have never met the pastor of the church, and even if the other church did need pastor. I think it's a good idea for the pastors to come into, at least meet the council, because we're passing all of these, resolutions and stuff with these different churches. And I know we do a lot with Reverend Elder, but when Reverend, anything that we do with Reverend Elder, he's always in presence, he presents anything in reference to, partnering with First Baptist Church in Central Heights. He's always in attendance. And so I think it's a good idea. I can't vote on this until I at least meet the pastors or the whoever represents the church to come into the town so we can see who they are, acknowledge them. Because we're passing all these resolutions and we walk out on the street, they could just walk past us and I don't even know who this person is. But we pass a resolution to give them money into their ministry and things like that. So before I can really honestly vote on a resolution, we have to at least meet the pastors of these churches and understand, what they're doing, how they're doing things. They don't even know who I am. So I just think that a good communication and meeting with them would be a good thing to do as just throwing these resolutions out there and just get to know who the pastors are. They've been in the community for some time. And we've been here for almost 4 years, and I still don't know who the pastor is of these different churches. And if we're going to support them, we have to know who we support. I guess. Really concerning something to I have to put it more than things up and I just really think it's not it's your buildings together. I don't know what else to do where it be okay. I don't look straight ahead. Sorry. Look straight ahead. It's now capital heights. That's already done, but we're in collaboration with the Vida, Vida, and in the last administration as well, Vida, very support, who is, she's like the co-pastor of, I'm saying straight ahead, not Pentecostal, it's not you. She is the co-pastor of pastor with, Pastor, we could pass that fifty this name right now. But we have done things and have been in collaboration with them in previous years and then definitely with the last administration because, I'm very familiar with that being the first because I know several people that are on staff. And I'm not before I yet, and also I think it's good to now that we're trying to engage with the Hispanic church because we need to engage with our Hispanic community as well as trying to get literature out. The literature we put out should also be put out. It's Hispanic. And yeah.
It's a quick observation. If they be pretty draw the county minister and office supports CESC utilization of health communication platform includes social media and target news that we use for collaboration is outreach effort. Contribution to state the town will be doing all their outreach announcements and stuff via electronic media for them.
So with the town, what
I use for answering.
pull with the law. So what we do now is we promote our partners or we promote our churches, events. And so that's the same thing. So if they're having something that can serve our community, we want to promote that so that our residents take advantage of it. So before that's the pretty much the same way we have like other organizations posting on our website. And if that's a benefit to our residents, we definitely want to share it.
They further resolve that CESC commits to financial support for the grade B by contributing quarterly contribution of $100 totally of the $400 annually. Based on the availability of town funding, the Peace Fund specifically designated, frequently designated, which puts the food and supplies needed to support the community effort. And that money is coming from, I'm sorry, what will the BECDC contribute to match that for me? But good, I would work on that.
So I had the privilege to actually attend one of it. And so they have this early available. They have it all set up. I mean, tables, they have everything set up for what folks are coming to be comfortable. So it is a very comfortable setting. Like I said, they're very good for it. They'll be flexible. They just have a volume of they have like a full course meal. Right? And they have dessert to choose from. And so they give them away. So if it's not all gone, they ask you to take it. They give studies for you. They give, coverings for them. So it that helps. And they know this is the level of the conversation and networking between most of the time. This is the job we build. No, no,
So, that money be coming from
on my line, I'm listening to yes.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I think yes. I live here, kind of stuff in
I think one of the things, because I left this stuff because, I had called the mayor, about his legal audit, and I did ask for, is it right for a government agency, because we are still considered a government agency, to promote a lot of the stuff that we're promoting on our website and our social media accounts, because I didn't want us to get in trouble, because there's a lot of stuff being promoted on social media and our website. And because it's a government agency, we have to be careful of what we put out there for people to see. And even in, I think it's called the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. And government agencies cannot post religious stuff on their website because it says it shows favor of one religion to another, and you can get in trouble for that. So I'm just saying, Councilwoman Ford talked about promoting this stuff in different churches on our website. We have to be very, very careful, and we have to know that what we're promoting is not favoring one religion over another, because we are a government agency and we have to really be careful. So when we partner with these churches and we're promoting and putting things on the website, we have to be very, very careful. And that's the law. It's not just me gibberish, it's the law. And I need it. That's my answer. And I answer to that, don't you? No, the government, and we can't do that. It's not against anybody's faith and anybody's religion, but the government, and you don't, normally you don't partner with the churches. I'm just saying, I know we did the government, but that's all I'm saying. I know you're doing what you cause, but I'm just saying, we normally don't do that with the churches, not politics. It is the whole person, you can't go whatever it is, and you also, so it is being taught. And it's good. It's going up. Oh, it's yeah. But it's not, it's still on them, it's still ignore. It's not. It's prohibited activities of municipalities and the website and not be used to endorse, favor, or actively promote a specific religion or religion in general. So that has nothing to do with religion. No, I'm just saying, because you have mentioned that to the mayor, if they have certain things to do with on the complaint, so at the table, yeah, whatever it is. So I'm saying we have to be careful. I'm not giving you or nothing like that. I'm just saying, as a government agency, we have to be careful of what we post. It's the law. somebody else don't follow it, and we follow it, that's different. You know, we can't do what they do if they're around. I don't know.
They come from the balance, but that is what they're every. You don't see me with no phone. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not just getting anybody. But we're not, it's a bias. I was actually looking at information by possibility. If you look at the information, not just one person. Anybody who does it. Councilman James does here, who does it too? Yeah, I'm going to around to churches. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I asked you the question, you answered it. You said, no, you're not dealing with the church portion. You're dealing with an event that's out there. And I let it go. But I asked the question. So that was for my clarification. You know, yeah, but I didn't. So we could discuss it here. Yeah. Yeah. You all ready to vote?
So the motion is to approve resolution 2025-41. Are there any kind of friendly amendments or any kind of amendments or? So no, okay. So Councilmember Anita Anderson. Michael Tony, no. Councilmember Faith Point. Yes. And Councilmember Will Williams. Yeah. That's not. 2 yes, 2 no. You just not.
Are you willing to be right? I'm saying no, but we can continue to.
I don't know about you doing that, but I'm just saying that for some of it, I know where she's going, I know where it's going, when it is, but it needs to be added. I'm just being honest with you.
Can you tell me what needs to be added? What needs to be made in the benefit?
Because you're, for me, because you're partnering with the church, and it specifically said that, I know what you said, you're not sponsoring something at the church. You're partnering with the church.
I'm partnering with the event at the table.
And that's why I would actually, if I were you, so. Yeah, let me tell you, if you want me to tell you that, what you do, then you got to put your tell you what you do. If you don't want input on this, what you do is like you said, and to have them come and present. And so it's like you asked for, so we can see what it is. Don't say a no from the, just say have them come and present. Because that is the right word to do it. You know this. And maybe, because for me, it's like you're partnering with your church. I just, that's what that's for me. Yeah. So, you have to make their vote now.
You might, I mean, I think that
But you want to say something, go ahead.
I just, for me, as a council member, I had 3 resolutions today. I've never, ever, we can look at every meeting. No other council member have to go through as much as I go through to get a resolution passed. Now, we had plenty of resolutions together. We didn't even have, it doesn't have the children, which is an excellent thing. I wouldn't even retire it. But when it's myself, if someone that's not on, or you can't, when it's myself, I'm not going to speak in my too.
Yeah, but it's about this, you know.
No, it's not because nobody should have to come in. If I'm a council, but I go out. Our job is to go out. And so I go out and do this information because our council member up here don't want to go out to meet the people. I gotta wait and bring them in. They're doing the work for our residents. I don't understand. Our job is to know, 4 doors down. Why don't we know who? Why don't we know what they're doing? We had they did a 2-year program for last administration.
Have to call them in order because you.
And the same,
The treat is gone. It's gone.
I just wanted, it made it gone. I understand it's gone, but I can still, I can still express how I feel.
I know, but you can't debate the topic. We are all over the best.
It's a problem.
No, it's a debate a vote.
I mean, it's debatable, but I'm just saying my opinion.
But you're debating
No,
a
I'm
vote.
debating what my.
Yes, you are.
Mayor, I'm talking about.
It's off the table for discussion. Now, if you want to say something separately, that's not on the agenda, go ahead.
So that's not me, but I'm talking how I get treated in this administration. And I don't understand, because the person is not here, you want to say, no. I need to meet the people, I just don't understand. So we can let, so I wanna put something on the agenda.
When you
Because I do the same thing, the Toastmasters, we still have other stuff that I'm gonna bring it to, and I haven't heard anything yet.
when you vote, you cannot, I'm trying to tell everybody this.
This is unfair.
I know,
want the public to know it is
The
unfair.
way they're voting, when I'm trying to get stuff done, I don't like it. I don't get all, no, people.
You want me to rewrite it because it's a church?
There was a.
Let's get off the topic. What I'm trying to say is,
But I didn't say anything about religion. I said about food.
please, okay, please. Boy, I want her to calm down. All I'm saying is. Okay, and I wish we could find a way when someone's talking, like they raise their hand or whatever, because when you end up people start talking, you do that all with everybody. I gotta come up with another way. But, all I'm saying is, Lord, I understand what you're saying, speaking of the chair. I understand what you're saying, but I'm trying to say, I'm not comfortable with a lot of votes. But once that vote is taken, I don't debate it with any of you. I agree with some of the votes up here, but I don't debate them. That is that person's right, that individual to vote how they want to vote. And every vote is not personal. That's just the way people think. It's not personal. No, people can have their way of voting. Everything up here, majority of the votes, I have to say, majority of the things the council you put up forth, if you want me to bring a list of them, resolutions and everything, even the last minute, they support you. They support you for it. And no. Yes, they do for it. For it, please, let me have the floor. They support you for it, but you still get those votes. You still get the votes for it. That's what it comes down to. You still get the votes. So I'm saying, whereas you have not always done the same, or you have done the same for a lot of it as well. You have. But not all, not all. So people have a right to, they don't want to do something, let it go. It's not personal.
The money.
Please, that's your personal, let's do this business. Councilman, who was first? Councilman Chu.
Actually, Councilman William was asking for that.
Councilman,
Sorry.
My only point is seriously, my only point is seriously that, that the CESC admits the financial support for the table that they would deal with like utility and shortly contribute $100. And it says, based on the availability of town funds, as taxpayers' money, and they're co-mingling with church tithes and ultimately, that's my only issue. Can we really use that kind of language in this resolution? I yield the floor. That's what we want to do. Had a question. Yeah,
okay.
town funds.
You had a question, can you get
He was asking you that.
You said, can we use sound funds?
No, I said it says town fund. I would use that kind of language. Because it's like you take taxpayers' money and give it to the church.
And so that's what we do when we take money from our line item and we.
No, but
It's a cost or something, it's coming from the town.
yeah, but what you're saying is you want to contribute this annually. That means you constantly, donating money. Because here's the problem. And I work with the finance department, that when the church does an audit, has an annual audit, see that the money's coming from the town, the IRS on action, what kind of relationship does the municipality have with the church to donate that kind of money on a yearly basis? So you have to justify, maybe you can justify this paragraph like you. No, it doesn't. Now when you say town fund, when you say town fund, I'm talking to the church, and I'm not talking to the church. We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do this. We wouldn't accept the money of the money. Yeah, we would. I yield the
Because
floor.
Princeton give grants, we have the county giving to the.
Yeah, we go-
7-day Adventist grant,
Yeah, the
they
church,
have what, I was looking all in here. They
A
give
grant.
grants.
a grant and taxpayers money. is two different things.
No, it's a grant, it is my time, how do you think the government?
No, I'm saying with towns, the county have the heights. Grants, like a federal grant.
It's not still our money, you can't stop it.
Please, one at a time,
I yield the floor, Mayor.
no. Let's respect them and answer that. Grants and those are not taxpayers' money. It's not taxpayers' money, it's federal funds, and the government makes money. How do you think they get billions of dollars for their budget? They make the money. Yeah, so I'm just trying to say it's a difference between the taxpayers. Please please don't talk across me, please. I give you that respect. So I'm just saying it's a difference insofar as the taxpayers' money or government funding. They have a budget automatically, it doesn't come from taxpayers, it comes from passing the budget, which is funds whether state or federal, that's how they get the money. That's what they're dealing with now, with the shutdown. All that money is government money, it's not taxpayers' money. That they're working within the budget. Two,
I was released, but, I'm staying about my decision, and I don't have a problem, like I said, I don't have a problem partnering with the church. All I did is for the church really to come into, if you want to partner on a regular basis, then I think it's really valuable for the church, whoever represents the church, to partner and present it. Because I feel that the church, the member of the church, will really have a better relationship with us. And the thing is, because even when we spoke about Spanish, because I thought, Capitol Heights, First Baptist Church was going to be involved in this because the last time we spoke about having Spanish lessons and things at the church, and that's what I wanted to do. But the resolution is saying something different. So
I'm gonna tell all of y'all, that we either gonna dismiss this meeting or whatever.
I'm
You're not here debating something that's off the floor. Don't come up with that topic again, no.
I'm not just saying.
No, we can't. That topic is off, that topic is off.
I just want to confirm, let you know that, government grants are funded by tax money.
What tax money?
Tax money, just how to get that.
Yes. Then I have to check that, because I've never heard that.
Do I have your vote? I do that.
Oh, excuse me, Councilman.
It's great to be with me because we're going to have this. And
We can't keep going through this because we can't discuss it.
all right,
The topic is over. I'm trying to go by the rules as chair. Not by what the council, we may want to do. No, we're off the topic, it's over. We just voted on it.
You can apply.
Yeah, we just voted on it.
We did not vote on it. It hasn't gone to a vote.
We did. No, we did go through a vote.
Okay, you're right.
Said no.
I stand for, I stand.
I'm sorry, you said no?
Because they would.
I'm sorry, did you say no? There? You said no.
She didn't say anything.
You said I did, I said no.
Oh, you said no, okay.
It's not like, oh, she could bring it back with it. I was just trying to tell her.
I just thought-
Right, just give up on it.
And somebody still note that nobody asked for explanation because we gave money outside the technology. But it's just, and I'm going to say that because it's unfair.
I'm sorry.
That's how shit is unfair.
Can I?
That wasn't taxpayers' money. That
Can I
wasn't
have an adjournment to this meeting?
the bereavement of the.
I'm adjourned.
No, because the meeting is not open.
I'll
We've got
ask
the
you.
record.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the Yeah.
Okay, that one.
That's no. Yeah, I know.
Okay, go to the next one.
Okay, so my need the Park and Recreation Project Charge Program discussion. Are we?
You said something?
Oh, no, I'm saying the project charge, today was just.
Please, please.
It's talking on that.
Please. Let them just do what they want to do.
So this is a project charge. We're never going to long discussion, just basically a quick note that please give us the information for the project charge at 300K, which we're going to utilize, as soon as possible. Because we have to spend the money by June 30th, 2026. So we technically have less, well, I believe 7 months less. So, well, you can, as soon as you submit it, you can actually start spending it. So the sooner we actually get that information in, so I'm hoping everyone can come with their ideas and thoughts and so forth. Some of them are explorer programs, for example. Some of them.
What's the list?
No, I don't have a list. You guys can decide.
No, I remember I said, what did they do?
The ideas are, no, because that's basically up to you guys. So we can do an explorer program, summer camps, tutoring classes, community garden, boys and girls club. So if you want to do Mr. James already told me he wants to work, continue to use the money for the Scouts, 7777. And I believe some other council member wants to do explorer program along with the police department. I think the public security, committee, that.
Well, when you talk to things like that, it needs to come to the full council. You don't just say.
No, I'm
like,
saying
come
that-
to you and say, this is what I want.
No, that's not what I'm
Take the
saying.
eye out and you come to the full council.
Okay, I'm not saying this, I said, please let me know what are the things that mayor and council wants to do. That's what I'm saying. And some of the ideas are basically, for example, explorer program, for example, basically the boys and girls, I'm sorry, not boys and girls, but the Cub Scouts and community gardening, et cetera. It's what you guys want to do. To let me know, so we can actually submit the paperwork to Park and Recreation, so it can get processed and stuff.
I would like, hopefully the council can work on that because all I see now is each council member doing their own thing. And it's not as a group. We're a council. It's supposed to be, the council puts it out. Now it's like each one person puts it out from the council, everything. Yeah, I mean, so I'm just encouraging the council. Or it's 2 people doing it, or 3. It's supposed to be a council. And I don't understand why one person wants to do everything. I'm not saying names, I'm just saying point blank. One person wants to do this and this and that. 2 people want to do this and that. It's supposed to be a council. And I don't understand this. It's just broken off now, and it's like everybody wants to do their own thing. So I'm just trying to encourage the council with this, like you're saying, respectfully, well, Councilman James wants to do this. We have to stop getting away from that.
And just like
Do
example,
what
I was
the
just
council wants to do to be, make this a better town. That's the goal. I know, but what I'm saying, do you think I understand that?
No, I don't think you understand.
But what I'm saying is, I'm hopeful that we can, I believe that. I'm hopeful that we can get, as a whole council, TA ready, whenever you bring us back, when the 24th, that we can, put all the ideas together as a council.
on that side.
Yes, ma'am,
I would like to press a small bit of what I said. So that's still helping. Is that okay with you guys? That's what the town is sort of hoping to get a little bit of money for the, I said.
Because we'll do one vote on whatever the ideas are, And Councilman Williams, you know something?
Oh, no, man,
With the other options, we take the whole nine divided by seven of them. If we put it in the mayor and council. If that's just a thought, I have no idea. So if there's like, for example, if there's 260 minus, investment, how would be the money for, let's say 35 or 45, so the remainder divided by 70.
40,000.
Well, I'm saying, for example, 35, 40,000. We spent a lot of money last year. That's how you said. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, for example, you guys can then you guys, so it's different ways of doing it, get all this together and then just pick the programs you guys want to do. Or we divide it by 7 members and each gets like, $35,000, $40,000 to whatever initiative that you guys might be interested in. This is just a thought from.
Council, just to think about.
if somebody. could-
And you guys can combine them
Well,
together.
if you could pass that information on to Councilman Amanda or me, Councilman Rita, and Councilman James,
Yes.
that, what your idea is. Think of things we could do as one, or in this case, if you want to do it individually, but you'll all agree on whatever that individual thing is.
Or two members can come together and combine their funds together and do it.
No, for me, I just think the council. I think the council. That's what the council is. Councilman Lee.
We expected that us and we know that you got for that, and yes, we come together with a list. But we may wanna, help us build a townhouse in the town. And you may wanna help show, you how to design a house, or decorate a house. So we bring all these ideas to the table and start patching out which one, which of the items are suggested can be, is feasible or attainable for us to do with the pot of money we got. Doesn't mean that everybody's on the big piece of it selected, or everybody may get to do something. We may small. Everybody bring it up, the budget, it's about.
But let's have the answer by the county board, please.
I think we're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, if they have the answer by the 24th. If that's really. Thank you. I'm being, I don't know, but I was just wondering how the meeting.
Okay, so can I get a, thank you, TA Ram.
Thank you.
I thought we supposed to have another council, make it in, that's it.
We didn't do the, poll comments either. No,
So where are you?
No public comments.
Nobody else.
Nobody on it.
It's supposed to be, I thought,
Oh, yeah, you right, that's public.
I know that was probably, council. Is it, okay.
You should be on council.
No, there's no help. I can say, announce that.
I just follow you the proper way to do the agenda.
What can I just announce it? That's what I.
You know, say it then.
Yeah, I always want to remind everyone that on Wednesday is council member Love from his town seat presence, homegoing service, thing will be told at the way of the clock. If it's at 9:30 as well. But the votes we just want to buy the inspect and represent as a councilman. Appreciate it, but the town seat presence, council as well as the family.
Yeah, 9:30 Wednesday. Do we have the details in terms of the?
Yeah, it works, but I'll send it to you. So you can send out. But for those who don't, we want to appreciate she's the older lady that has all the hockey. But she's been around, she's been on the council for a very long time.
Every council meeting. Okay, any public comments?
No. Nobody's on there.
All right. Meeting is adjourned at,
I think we put my business.